I just hit record on my end.
Let me pull up Audacity.
I am now recording.
I'm recording the thing.
Are you cool if I use a different form of loud equals funny logo for this one?
I'm cool
I
for
have
I'm cool for whatever you want to do, brother.
a good idea.
Non-standard loud
Yeah.
equals funny, people.
Yes. Also, I guess I'll just intro this real quick. Welcome to episode 40. Fuck
Woo!
yeah! We are
Yay.
officially on the hill and about to go over.
We already made a joke about Boogie, I think, last time and his
Well,
midlife crisis that he's having, but it's ongoing, people. It's ongoing.
oh yeah, we're only 4 episodes out from being Boogie's age, which means we can date our 21st episode.
Hell.
Yay! that was a fun one to record.
Oh yeah. I tell you, you know what? I can honestly never remember any of the episodes we record because I kind of put it out of my head after recording.
Fair.
And then after listening to it in the audio editing, I don't want to hear it again.
Yeah, that'll happen to you.
Oh yeah, I think anyone who ever edits anything realizes that once you've heard something the 4th time through, you're just kind of like, yeah, I don't want to hear this again.
Fair.
Yeah. Well, we're back, folks, and it's episode 40. And I guess we haven't been gone for a little bit. It just kind of feels like that for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't really taken any breaks or anything, but the news hasn't taken a break either. It's been left and right and insanity as usual. I understand Dan Schneider has been revealed to be not a great guy.
Yes.
Wow.
Famous Nickelodeon executive Dan Schneider, who has historically only been famous for good reasons.
Yeah, only known for all of his good on-set behaviors and all that.
Yeah.
Real quick, one thing I do want to say since we're super early. Folks, click the link in the description. If this is anything before episode 41, we're moving to a new channel. If this is after 42, if 42's came out, we're on the new channel.
Yeah, so go there, or else you won't see us unless you're on Spotify. That's not changing.
Yeah, but the last one that'll be released on my channel will be the state of the podcast one we recorded in February. But
oh, nice.
I think it fits to put right before we shift to the new channel because it kind of gives everything that we're doing. I just need to make sure to edit a couple of things out. Other than that, it's a good episode that'll lead us right to the new channel.
Yeah,
and eventually, because I was going to do this at first to be like, hey, this is how all the old episodes will go there. It turns out Acast and YouTube have been having a little a tiff, so I can't just automatically push all of our old episodes with just the Spotify thumbnail, just the little square one. None of the little flourishes, none of even the musical intro. It would just be those uploads. But Acast and them are having like a little fighting contest, so hey, wonderful stuff. no matter what provider we go with, I'm fucked over somehow. But yeah,
it's pretty annoying. There's been a bunch of shit happening with Spotify for podcasters you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a nightmare too, so
yeah, they shifted their whole thing. They're removing features that initially dragged me to the platform, got me excited, and had us... Originally, the music episode was going to be through that and be like, after we talk about like an album or a song, it was going to play that song or something from that album. But
yeah, that sounds rad.
Great.
Yeah. That would have been fucking cool. I loved that idea. It would have been a Spotify exclusive episode, which would have fucking sucked a little bit, but it would have been an incentive to drive people there. And now Spotify's removed that. Same with this is a little side gripe. Twitch just removed, I think on April 2nd, they'll be removing
watch along.
The watch along, yeah. Which
happy birthday, me, haha.
Which early happy birthday. But also it's like all of these cool, unique things are being removed, and it's fucking disappointing. It's such a shame. But eventually, I'd like to redo that episode or do more that have like teasers of like 10 seconds of a song in there somewhere. You gotta just skirt around copyright. That's the tricky part.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. There was a guy we looked at today on stream as of the day of recording this. Really fun guy who unfortunately part of being a fun guy is he fills his videos with like Metallica songs and stuff like that, and it's like it absolutely adds to it. It makes his videos better, and I would argue it makes his videos extremely his own. There's nobody else who makes videos like Dino Kakavas. And it's because he uses like a full Dire Straits song in the middle of it, you know?
Well,
But
yeah, because this song is fucking rule. And we
well,
all
yeah,
want to do that.
but also no one else does. So it's like, you know, it's
Yeah.
just a shame you can't, you know, represent that. It sucks.
I mean, there have been times where I thought about, like, what's the limit I could go to with copyright just to make something? Which...
Yeah, I mean, do the old, oh god, I think it was Conan who did the segment that was like, name that tune, but it's like one note off, so it'll be like, dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
You do something like that.
pretty sure about smoke on the water.
It's 95%, you know,
Yeah.
hey.
It's like, it's almost there. Almost. Or like karaoke versions where it's designed just to be able to sing along to and has none of the vocal tracks or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I guess that could work. You could have that in like the background while people are talking, but then you wouldn't be able to get that for every album, so that's the problem.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard to do that consistently. I don't know. I think it worked out pretty good. I mean, you
It
know,
did.
like when we did that music podcast, I put together a playlist of my own, you know, with the music that you guys were suggesting. So, I mean, I feel
yeah.
like people can, it's, you know, it's all out there. Some of it's not on Spotify, though. That's the problem.
It is true, yeah. I did notice as I
Yeah.
was going through, it's like, oh yeah, Spotify either like has a trunicated version or I was trying to look up a song from years ago, Set Adrift on Memory Bliss. And I found out they only have the re-recorded version because the rights owner of that song is a piece of shit. It's like, oh, I have to go on YouTube and listen to a fucking MTV VHS version of the song to actually get a good quality of it. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Love that shit. But yeah, no, that episode I'm really proud of. I'm excited for the next one we do, which...
Yeah, part 2 is going to be pretty fun.
Knowing what you guys have picked, I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's some good shit on here. People are gonna love it. But, yeah, we got some topics here.
Yeah. Y'all watch that new Dan Schneider thing?
I've seen to the second episode, and then because I've been busy with some stuff, and I watched the Halo show instead of finishing the documentary would make me upset.
Yeah, I know. Bane wants to be an attention whore because he says he likes the Halo show. We'll get to that.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
I didn't watch the documentary thing because I'm a stupid piece of shit retard. But
I've seen the first two.
I've seen Charlie talk about it and a few other people and like the fallout from it and that weird video that he did with who was the guy I guess he was the guy who was on one of the shows.
It was literally some dude who was just like one of the
one of the best
characters.
Friends or something. Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't even that. He was like some dude who worked at a store in the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was literally like a C-tier actor. Hang on, well, D-tier actor.
And this was the guy who came out and was basically like he was what would you call him?
The guy Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow.
I don't know what his real name is, but his he goes by Boogie. BOOG exclamation mark E.
Oh, Boogie died. Damn.
Rest in peace.
Well, yeah, he was out there running interference, I guess, basically being like a shill for Dan Schneider and being like, "See, guys, he apologized. Everything's fine now."
Yeah.
And a lot of Dan Schneider's apology thing that he did was not focused on him because there was like the easy out of this guy,
an actual convicted child molester.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? The dude who molested Drake Bell.
Oh, jeez,
Brian Peck, no relation
Peck.
to Josh Peck, by the way, which blew my mind because I heard Brian. Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Did his dad work for something? What happened? No.
Completely unrelated. Apparently,
unrelated.
Apparently he had let me find the video, or let me find the post. This was made on Twitter. I don't know how true this is,
Yeah.
but someone posted it on Milk Barn with the caption of POV, "You're completely fucking insane." And it was in regards to Brian Peck. It's a Reddit thing, actually, not a Twitter thing. It's today I learned that Brian Peck, a former dialogue coach and convicted sex offender, was pen pals with serial killer John Wayne Gacy. When
Yep.
Gacy was
Yep.
on death row, he sent Peck an autographed painting of a clown, which Peck framed in his house.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this guy later went on to be hired by Disney to work on Zack and Cody.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hired
so
by Disney after being convicted of child molestation.
so here is the thing. I will cut.
Thank you, Disney.
I will say this. Disney, he only did 3 episodes, and when it was found out, he was removed.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's cool.
They're 3 episodes, and then his voice was completely replaced because he was doing a voice acting gig at the time. But yeah, no, it is so fucking absurd how this guy who he has worked in the industry. He was even in 2 of the X-Men films, the Bryan Singer X-Men films.
That's not good. That's not a good thing on your resume, no.
God, it's such a shame looking back at those movies because they're good, but Bryan Singer's a piece of fucking shit.
Wasn't it the case that the other guy who made the other good X-Men movies was also a sex predator? It was Bryan Singer and who's the other? Brett Ratner made.
Well, Brett Ratner didn't make a good X-Men movie.
Which
he made
one
an
did he
X-Men
do?
movie. He did 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he made-
that
he
explains
made-
a lot, actually.
Yeah, he made an X-Men movie.
Yes, and X. That's true. No, I guess Brian Peck was he was the one that essentially cycle of abused Drake Bell, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Drake Bell is like a sex predator, and it's probably that guy's fault. I mean, ultimately it's whoever's fault, but whatever,
Yeah. I have heard they do touch on it in the documentary. I'm not certain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, another thing about it, apparently a bunch of fucking celebrities came out and tried to write letters of, "Oh, let him go, he's a good man."
Yeah.
And it was real
Yeah.
celebrities. One of the, I forget if it was James Marsden or Jason Marsden, but
It
one of the
was
Marsdens came out.
James Marsden, which, funny enough, I feel like that probably might connect to Bryan Singer, because this is around the time of him being in the X-Men movies. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
and this guy was in X-Men 1 and 2 for cameos.
Mm,
One uncredited, one credited.
yeah, it was a list of what was it, 40 fucking people or something that came out that were trying to get this guy let off. This guy who has a framed John Wayne Gacy clown picture in his house,
What a strange turn of events.
So I'm looking here. Some of them: Taron Killam, he was on Mad TV. Alan Thicke, noted piece of shit. He's dead, so I can say that. Joanna Kearns from Growing Pains.
Also,
Ryder Strong.
Yeah. Him and Joanna Kearns, they were on the same show, right?
I think so.
Growing Pains?
Growing Pains, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Kimmy Robertson, the lady who played Lucy from Twin Peaks, which, that's sad. I
That
liked
sucks.
her.
That really sucks.
Yeah. Kearns did issue a statement to documentary makers stating that she was unaware of the full extent of the case and now regrets her letter of support. Later, Will Friedle and Ryder Strong both said the same thing.
I feel like that's more just the tide turned differently and they didn't think it would, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it."
I would say I'm willing to put 50-50. Like, some of these are probably they knew what was going on, but I do feel like... Because, I mean, James Marsden was about, I think 20 or... Okay, so he just turned 30 at that time. Never mind, I was wrong. But Ryder Strong and Will Friedle, those guys were really young at that time. I could see them being naive to what's going on.
A lot of the people who come out, if they are of the age when they would have been this guy's victim. It's like, yeah, I can see why you specifically think this dude's the salt of the earth, right?
Yeah.
Like, some people obviously are going to come out and be like, this guy's a horrible piece of shit. I'm his victim. But some people, they're going to still be I guess, enthralled or whatever and be like, no, what do you mean? He's a great guy.
Yeah.
All those times we spent together were great.
Yes, 100% consensual.
Yeah, and so when people started to focus, because the main focus of the documentary, I think, is Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, people have heard of Dan Schneider. I never heard of Brian Peck before. I never watched these like Nickelodeon shows. Really, I was aware of them, but
I would say I grew up with like the ass end of all that to the Amanda Show, and then like I watched Drake and Josh regularly. I watched some of iCarly, and that's kind of when I dipped off.
Yeah,
myself.
same.
I remember when iCarly was coming out, it was like a show that people were watching. I remember being accused of being an iCarly fan at one point in like 2008. It was very strange because like I didn't actually know what the show was. Like I knew of it, and I was like, wait. It was like when they called me gay in school, and I'm like, wait, I don't understand. I'm not gay. What do you mean?
Like,
I'm just fully unaware. Yeah.
You're taking it seriously. It's like, I don't think I am, sir.
I don't know what the show
I believe
is.
you are mistaken, good gentleman.
Yeah, no, but that whole wave of shows, he was known for that. And I mean, I guess anybody who doesn't know, I guess that era of shows, people apparently didn't recognize it when it was happening, but it's apparently very obvious when you go back and look at the shows he was involved in.
It is a bit,
yeah.
Weird dialogue there is about like, so you think you can take it, and like weird sexual shit. They would like apparently end episodes of shows with like little, sort of like King of the Hill does this, but like little out of context clips of dialogue from the episode. But apparently a lot of the time it would be like kind of sexual sounding out of context, and so that's pretty weird. And the main thing was the feet. He would actually have, there was like one
this
time
motherfucker and his fucking feet.
There was one time on Twitter he apparently started telling people to like send in a picture of your feet and we'll put it in the episode or something.
Yeah, that was the official Salmon Cat Twitter account.
Yeah, and it's still fucking up, isn't it?
Yep.
I think so, yeah. Not good. And yeah, so when some of the info was coming out, this documentary happened talking about all this, and I guess it I mean, Tristan, you watched it, right?
Yes, I did.
So what happens in it? It brings up like, former stars, I guess, people who had experiences with this.
Yeah, so I have a lot of thoughts on it, so buckle up.
Go for it.
So I watched it, and it was rough getting through it. It's definitely an uncomfortable watch, and like, it's supposed to be an uncomfortable watch, so that's fine.
It is a rough watch.
I will say, they really do a lot of weird stretching with some of the Dan Schneider stuff. I have a thing of my thoughts here. Hang on, let me fucking scroll through this ungodly thread that I posted at like 6 a.m. All right, so I do find it really weird because like Dan Schneider is not a convicted sex offender. He's just a creepy guy who's done some really fucked shit in the past, but nothing that is out and confirmed him being a sex predator. We'll get to that later. And I find it really weird that most of the documentary is centered around him when it brings up 3 actual convicted sex offenders. And it's pretty bad that I don't remember 2 of their names, and I forgot the first name of the main one.
There was Brian. There was good question. There's one named Jason Handy.
I've never even heard that there were 2 other ones.
Funny.
I mean,
it brings up 3 of them.
Well, that's so funny because, as far as I knew, it was just the Dan Schneider Nickelodeon thing, but then apparently there's the Brian Peck guy.
Because the first episode starts with the like writer's room, and like first him coming up and becoming a producer, because he started as an actor on
Head of the class, I
Head of a
think.
Class, yeah, a
Mhm.
show which apparently he also wrote. I think I'm trying to make sure on that. No, no, okay. He directed some episodes near the end. Okay. Um, but yeah, he got got to start as an actor. Did that for a little bit before becoming a writer on all that, and that's where he started to get his like big work from. He also did a bunch of really shitty films, like really shitty.
Yeah.
I think the highest grossing one here is Better Off Dead, and that movie sucks ass.
Eesh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
um,
he has a rough filmography.
that he does. Like he's got a lot of credits past that. Like all that and Keenan and Kelly was a writer and producer. Um,
Yeah.
then he created a show on UPN that lasted one season. Um, but then Amanda Show happened, and then he did and I need to make sure this is right here because okay, Amanda Bynes on it. You know the show What I Like About You?
Oh no.
I know the song.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting, because this was like the WB's big show for a few years, and it had Amanda Bynes as the lead, but he also
Oh, I
created the
think I
show.
do. I think I do. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the show again, it was one of those things. It was WB. They were really desperate for a hit, and they just kept firing everything out. It was all right. But he produced that. And then after, because I think he also tried to get in on the production of Easy A. He was really trying to control her career for Amanda Bynes. And then once
Wait, was she in Easy A? I thought that was Emma Stone.
well, she's like a side character in it. He tried to become an EP for
Okay.
it.
And Amanda Bynes is one who went kind of kooky, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah,
Some not so great things happened with her
it
later on.
it
We'll
seemed
definitely be getting to that.
All right,
yeah.
all right. Yeah,
Um,
I was just gonna say before, because like the way Tristan points out, like yeah, I mean it's multiple other actual convicted predators that are like
yeah,
sex weirdos that are in that sphere. And most people are just hearing about Dan Schneider. And I was going to say, like, yeah, I guess Brian Peck is the one who's getting a lot of the attention now. And so
yeah,
when Dan Schneider did his little apology thing that he did, in the wake of all of this, he was able to kind of effectively just be like, "Oh, I didn't know about all that stuff that Brian Peck was doing."
Well,
yeah.
see,
Uh,
that's the thing. He actually because Drake Bell talks about this. When after he had told his mother about all the things that Brian Peck had done, uh, it was either him or his mom called up Dan, and Dan was actually like really immensely supportive of him.
yeah,
Mm.
Which, hey, rare Dan Schneider win.
yeah. Which I mean, it's a good thing that he was supportive there, but essentially, what I think the show, at least mind you, from the two episodes I've seen and from I've heard after, it shows that he kind of fostered it by being negligent, but also being very. He was negligent on some things, and very attentive and direct on others. You know?
Yeah, to a point, it was a bit born from him.
Yeah. It's
That
like
is true.
a lot of the negligence behind all of this can all be pointed back to him, and it's pretty bad. There's also shit he did directly that was
Yeah.
while not sexually as bad, pretty bad just in general. The
Well,
first episode, yeah, go
people
on.
focus on him because he is like the guy in charge, right? I
Yeah,
mean, he might not be the most actively evil person in any situation, but he is like the guy who's, I guess people would argue, kind of facilitating all of that to happen, or
yeah.
like you said, negligence is just sort of allowing it to happen. I don't know.
But yeah, the first one though, they cover two writers on all that, like on near the end of all that, or the Amanda Show, and
Hmm.
these two writers are both female. They discussed the weird split payment that they like. they basically had to split a salary for the entire season they worked together, and that was the only way they both could be hired. Which
is very illegal.
yeah, it was against Writers Guild of America like rules back then in the fucking 90s. So that's
Wait, it
saying
was
something.
literally just pay 2 women the price of one man.
Yes, literally yes.
Ah,
It's literally
based.
the meme.
Yeah,
Alright,
Yeah, Dan Schneider beast. You
Yeah,
hear it first
totally.
from Deadwing Man.
that there's also like a bunch of like weird harassment things. Then it ends with one of them. Tristan, you might remember this one better. I'm gonna have. Do you remember
Really quick, because I'm not fully sure what you're talking about.
how the last one quit? Like when all the men writers went into a room without her, told her to come back in. Oh, so yeah, told her to come back in and pitch her idea. They were all standing in the room watching her talk. She starts to describe the idea, and then Dan Schneider says, "You know, you sound like you've done phone sex before."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fuck.
and then
I forgot about
she
that.
basically just instantly leaves after that because, yeah,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
and
and this is the kind of thing, I mean, in the midst of all of this, meanwhile, it's important to point out that in the midst of all of these real accusations against people,
yeah,
there's like 15 fucking Minecraft Me Too allegations happening at once, and it seems like all
yeah,
of them are kind of bullshit. And yeah,
yeah,
I'm just looking at this and I'm like, this is what this whole thing was about, right? Was like actual
oh
weird
yeah.
fuckers in boardrooms being like, you seem like a sex doll, lady. It's like, yeah,
I mean,
I can believe this. I have no trouble believing there's just a bunch of corporate weirdos who are, being less than charitable, less than equitable, you know.
yeah.
Dame Bane hasn't even mentioned the fucked up one.
Oh,
I'm gonna let you go for that one then.
All right, so I think this was the other writer.
Ah, yeah, this is the one. I'm gonna let
Yeah,
you
it
go
was
for
it
that
was
one.
it was the other writer. Uh, she was saying something. I forgot exactly what. Like she was pitching a joke or something like that.
Yeah,
And Dan stops her and says, "Hey, hang on, hang on, hang on. You know it would be so fucking funny, right? You know it would be hilarious. You know it would get this whole room a hooting and a hollering. If you said that while pretending to be fucked in the ass and bend over the table." And he insisted that she do it.
yeah.
yeah, that would commence to hootin' and hollering, a hollering.
I mean,
Uh,
if one of us did that, that'd be funny. Like
yeah, if Dan
okay, yeah,
Schneider did that, that would be funny.
exactly. Like
If it was clear that it was a joke and you didn't insist that she do it, yeah.
where
Yeah,
it's like
if she did it of her own accord and everybody laughed and it wasn't like a thing you were
And
Yeah.
like
everybody clapped.
mandating her to do, yeah, that would. I mean, there's a context for that to maybe be funny, but yeah,
exactly.
not that.
It's one of those ones where it's like, oh, that just fucked.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds sort of like the some of the Vince McMahon stuff where it sounds like it's just sort of, I don't know, humiliating people,
Yeah.
I guess,
Well,
just as like your job is to just be humiliated here, I
yeah, it's like
guess.
if you really wanted someone to do all the shit that like Vince McMahon had that girl do, you can find that. That's not hard to find.
Yeah, you're in LA. It's not going to be very
Yeah,
difficult.
you can find people who are willing to do incredibly
Meanwhile,
things.
this woman probably just wanted to. Well, she's a writer, right?
Yeah,
She probably just wanted to
Yeah.
like make stories for kids shows.
yeah. She
Yeah,
got
write
hired
a funny
to
little
write
joke.
jokes for Amanda Bynes at 11. Like
Yeah.
she's not looking to like simulate dick going in her ass.
Well, a
That's
lot of
not what
people,
she's going for.
yeah, a lot of people probably get into that kind of industry. I mean, let alone the kids, obviously, but even
Yeah.
just adults, they're not going to necessarily know from the outside looking in that like, oh yeah, I'm going to go work at a kids show company and it's going to be filled with insane rapists and child predators and they're going to tell me to like mime getting fucked in the ass, and it's like nobody would know that. I mean,
Yeah.
you focus a lot obviously on the child victims, but then it's like, yeah, look at something like that. Anyone who just gets hired there is apparently just allegedly just, basically a pawn in the sexual schemes.
It's been it's been an interesting like because I still have not watched the last 2 episodes. I've been meaning to. I just, again, everything, and then also work and shit. But
Yeah.
it is so baffling though, because mind you, this is not all of Nickelodeon's sets. There have been some with good, like the Ned's Declassified kids seem to have had a good set. I was,
Ooh.
well, I will talk about
Oh
that.
boy.
We'll talk about that
Yeah,
after.
we're going to be talking
But
about them.
well, okay, we will. But again, like, that was show ran by Scott Fellows. That was a guy who did Johnny Test, which outside of bringing that AIDS to the world, doesn't seem like a bad guy.
I had no idea that was the same parentage. Ned's Declassified, huh?
Yeah, Ned's Declassified and Johnny Test,
Funny, 'cause
same creator.
I've never heard any. I mean, I don't know that show personally, but I've
Yeah.
never heard anybody complain about it or shit on it in the same way that I've never heard anyone say anything good about Johnny Test. Completely different. Wow.
It completely different thing. Also, like, the guy who created one of the most Canadian shows, Johnny Test, well, Canadian animated shows, I should say. Not from Canada, from Connecticut.
Well, sounds close enough.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, no, like, there are a lot of good kids shows. I don't think the entire industry is like a pox, but you can't deny looking at it. It's like, yeah, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just really shitty. I mean, like, you look at all of the, like, finger families and garbage that kids are apparently watching now, fucking Mr.
Yeah.
Beast or whatever, and then it's like, yeah, remember back in the old days when kids' shows were good and wholesome? And no, I don't think I do.
yeah, it's
Not
like,
so much. The cartoons were all selling shit to you, and then there was rape and all the other ones, so,
I mean, I guess it's one positive that, like, Coco Melon has. Like, I'm not worried about my kids, like,
entirely inoffensive to anyone.
yeah, it's such. Okay, well, here's an interesting problem we have now. Do we need to go to, like, all bog standard, just, like, buff down the edges for the kids' content, like Coco Melon?
Well, I mean, I don't know how harmful to the. I mean, I don't know. That is a question about like the Dan Schneider shows. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people watched them and
How many
probably
foot
didn't grow
fetishes
up to
came
be
from that?
completely insane, but there were overt weird foot fetish things in those shows apparently. So yeah, and there's a lot of cartoons where, I mean, not Nickelodeon stuff, but there's a lot of stuff where it's cartoons and stuff where there's just like overt fart fetishes and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
Plus,
very
mean,
common.
I think the fart
have
stuff
you
gets
gone back and watched Totally Spies recently?
Oh, every
Oh.
episode. I remember vividly Jabroni Mike reading out, and the look on his face as he did. He read out a list of every episode of that show and the corresponding fetishes it featured in each episode. And it was basically every episode of Totally Spies.
I mean, I can directly tie back a fascination for spandex with that show, so I guess it makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
God
So
damn
there's a
it.
lot of foot people that are a result of. Somebody pointed out earlier on the server that apparently it's being suggested that several people developed mommy fetishes because Cynthia in Pokemon beat them so hard.
Oh, I mean, I can almost. There is a connection to my dating pattern and the mom from The Incredibles, so I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, even if it is just a Drake and Josh, I mean, I don't know. Who's to say what that'll really do to your fucking kids? Who's to say what that did to any of us?
God, yeah, there were so many foot fetish scenes in fucking iCarly, like, literally.
Apparently,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there was a clip someone made recently of Medicare talking about Dan Schneider stuff from years ago, and there was this one show that he was talking about, which is apparently a real. I don't think it's still on, but it got a couple seasons. It's apparently a real show on Nickelodeon called Bella and the Bulldogs.
Okay,
And
yeah.
It is a very thinly veiled child cuck show, and if you think that's crazy. The creator made a movie about cuckoldry.
Oh no!
Yeah,
it's a white girl at a high school with a high school team of largely black boys, and then she has a white best friend who,
Very
yeah, it's.
nebbish white best friend.
I don't think that show's still on, but Bella and the Bulldogs. Nickelodeon was apparently putting just cuck porn on TV
I
at
mean,
some point in the 2010s.
yeah. Trying to find the still. Okay, so there's a few more boys in this image, I guess. This one's probably a little
Okay,
more
all right.
accurate, but yeah, no, like two of the non-black
one on
boys
the-
have Letterman jackets. They're playing.
The one on but the one on the right is like, as Medicare pointed out, they found like the shortest person humanly possible. They found like the tiniest little white boy that they could.
They kind of did, but I mean, he's got the Letterman jacket. He is playing. That's
This would be an insane conspiracy theory if it wasn't for the fact that I have seen the trailer of the Cuckold movie that the creator of this show also made.
Admittedly, yeah, the fact this guy
ridiculous.
created a cuckold movie is funny.
So yeah, Nickelodeon's a bit fucked. I mean, even to this day, apparently, there's got some weird fucking shit going on there. They're hiring some strange people, and they're not sending their best.
I'm checking to see what this guy's. Wow, he's also executive produced 114 episodes of. Take a guess on what show?
Is it Victorious?
No, it's The Flash.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
no.
very similar audience, you know. So hey,
what, Bella and the Bulldogs? You
very
might be
similar
right.
to the Nickelodeon cuckoldry show is the Flash. Yeah, I can see it.
Executive
Good
producer,
crossover there.
producer, supervising producer.
Jesus Christ.
Written 20 what episodes did he write? Hang on here, I gotta see.
Oh my God, he wrote episodes of The Flash. I
He
bet
also-
there's
he
good
wrote- hang
one.
on.
Too. I
He
bet there's
wrote-
a good one in there. There is like an episode you like in there, Bane.
there
I'm
might be.
promising you that.
There might be. We'll take a look. Season 4. Okay, 4 episodes of season 4. One of them's okay, not great. Season 5. No.
Oh, so it's all later on in the series?
It is. Okay,
No,
the ones he wrote for season 6 aren't bad.
Oh, season 6. At that point, I stopped giving a shit.
It-
Okay, that's a groundbreaking innovation. I didn't know about that.
Okay, out of every episode that he wrote for, I can name one of them is actually pretty good, and then one of them is kind of okay. The rest are just like eh.
Well, was there any point in that episode where Barry watches Iris get fucked
No,
by a
but
boardroom of Nickelodeon writers?
no, but there is one where Cisco watches Caitlin get fucked by an entire football team, and I did think it was a little weird and out of character. So
Well, that's just seems like a normal thing on a CW show, though.
Exactly.
So yeah, it didn't raise too many red flags.
Has not directed since The Cuckold, which
Oh,
you
well.
know, I respect that. I respect a director who knows when they've hit a
He's made his
masterpiece.
magnum opus. He can't do anymore. He has to leave.
You can't really top a film titled The Cuckold.
Well, no, what's funny about that too is that that's not even the Cuck movie, because there's another famous movie. I think it's just called Cuck. That kind of it raised some attention a few years ago.
I love IMDb's More Like This. I'm gonna share it with you guys real quick. The More Like This includes one porno and then a movie just titled Cuckold, and then My Wife's Secret and The Cabin Movie.
This is it does look like it's gonna set you up for more like that. You know,
Yeah.
I'm surprised Bella and the Bulldogs isn't on there, but yeah, no. So I mean, that's just someone I guess more currently involved in Nickelodeon. Most of this stuff is back in the day. It's concerning to think. I mean, that's all kind of jokes like haha cuck show, but that is some very strange connections to make for a show that's on Nickelodeon. It's very odd, and that's I think that show is mid 2010s. So hypothetically, they are still just making things that are very questionable on Nickelodeon. Maybe not at this point, but
Dan Schneider
after all this, Dan Schneider's gone. I don't think he was involved in this one either, but. Yeah, I guess people have been saying when he stopped making the network money, they were willing to get rid of him for all the rape.
Yeah, about 2018, because it's listed on here, around when Me Too actually happened, they finally were Get him out. Get him out.
They
Yeah.
went, yikes.
Grit their teeth, sucked in air. Ugh. Yeah, no, they're still. I mean, they're still producing shows that like we're tied to things he's created, because there's like Henry Danger, and then there's like 4 fucking side series to that show.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, I
spin-offs.
mean, he's created like fucking half of that network at this point. I mean,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
did he ever hand in any
iCarly
of the
came back, I think.
did he ever hand in any of the animated stuff they did, or was it
He
mostly
was
just
all
these
live
like
action.
okay?
Yeah, I do know that there was an animated spin-off of one of them, but I forgot which.
Yeah, Henry Danger got an animated one called The Adventures of Kid
That's
Danger.
why I forgot which.
Mm.
Do kids
Who the
actually
fuck?
like?
Who the fuck watched Henry Danger?
I know that name. I can't remember it though.
Yeah, he also created Game Shakers.
Yeah, the show that Pro Jared is on.
Oh yeah, right before the dick pic thing.
No, it wasn't right before. It was like
Was it right after?
no, it was like 2016,
Would be
I
really
think, and the
funny
dick
if
pic
they-
thing was like 2019.
It would be a really funny thing if they hired him for his dick pic. Like, you know him from his dick pic. It's Pro Jared.
That's exactly how they introduced him. Yeah, that really happened.
Yeah.
Man, fucking Kel from Keenan and Kel was on Game Shakers.
Mm.
Yep.
Wow. Jeez. But yeah, no, to kind of jump past to more of this, to go to more stories.
Oh well, I still had a lot more to talk about.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
I
because,
teased.
I was waiting for you to continue.
Because
My bad.
well, really quick about the interview that he had with the Tebow actor.
Yeah.
Mm.
I really do I really like. This is gonna sound very strange because I like the documentary and I recommend it.
Mhm.
But fuck this documentary because it made Dan Schneider seem not as bad.
Yeah.
And when I was watching his apology, I was like, okay, you know what? You know, he's improving. Hey,
I was there to a point, but then he took like no accountability for like.
Well, he did it for like, you know, all the bullshit that happened in the writers' room and all that.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that was inappropriate. Sorry about that. And some of these jokes were inappropriate. Sorry about that.
Man.
Well, what exactly did they do to make him seem better?
Basically him just taking accountability for it mostly.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, shit, that's my B.
The thing I
really wish he just went harder on Dan.
I wish Dan would go up against someone who would give him a pushback.
Hey, Dan Schneider.
Yeah. Hey,
How's that loud equals funny?
Hell yeah. How's the loud equals
loud
funny?
equals fat.
Fuck yeah.
You want to talk to someone who will ask you the real questions? I'm gonna ask you what the fuck is up with the feet stuff. I'm gonna ask it. I'm gonna keep asking it.
I'm gonna ask why you look like Seb Gorka now.
I have a feeling he doesn't want to answer those questions, though. I have a strange feeling that
I don't
those
care.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask him anyway.
That's fair. That is fair. It's weird the way you're because I haven't seen the documentary, but the way you describe it, it sounds like it's both leading toward him being, I guess, worse than he is, but also makes him sound like he's better than he is.
That's the thing. It does make a few stretches to make him look worse. Like there was this one in the very first episode. Now I actually rolled my eyes at where this kid was like put in a nose man costume, and it was made out to be. I'm pretty sure it was made out to be a racial thing. And it was also made out to be like a sexual thing because the noses that they patched onto his shoulders looked a little bit like penises.
They do kind of look like dick and balls a little bit.
They really like
a little
maybe
bit. Not too
if you
much.
have a dirty mind, sure.
Well,
but like,
I mean, yeah, I do.
You can tell that they're supposed to be noses, you know?
Yeah.
So like, there are some big stretches like that, but then like, you know, it does those to make him look worse, but it also doesn't go hard in on him because remember how we were talking about Amanda Bynes a little while ago?
Yeah.
There's a rumor going around that he impregnated her at 13.
See,
And
I
they
don't
didn't
believe that
they
rumor,
didn't say
though.
nary a fucking word about that.
See, that's one of those rumors I'm not... that's one I'm almost certain is kind of like 20% could be real, 80% I don't believe that one personally.
Oh, that's the thing though. They didn't even say anything about it.
I mean, where is that rumor coming from? Maybe it's just been like disproved.
Allegedly from Amanda Bynes herself.
Who's alleging that it's coming from her?
All right. So there was this Twitter account, and it's not
Mhm.
under the name Amanda Bynes. However,
Yeah.
I haven't seen this, but several people have been saying that this account posted a picture of her ID and it was Amanda Bynes. I'm not sure about that,
Yeah.
but then there are also like tweets like, I'm being forced to deny this account for my own safety, and
Yeah.
it kind of sucks having your fucking boss impregnate you at 13, stuff like that. And given the mental state that Amanda Bynes was in at that time, it's more likely that it's her than not, at least just going by the mental state.
I mean, here's what I'll say on this part. I'll say that if so, I'm pretty sure, like, if they do know, they probably don't want to get sued, because that could be a big allegation. And that is an
fair,
allegation.
but you could do a funny little allegedly.
Yeah. Legally speaking, right? That was an allegation that you just said. I'm covering my bases here.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's... I mean, I would like to see more of the weird, like, I'd like to see more of a weirder side covered down the road,
Yeah, maybe a second documentary. Maybe they can get more people's money.
I mean,
but
this is HBO. They're desperate for viewers. They'll do.
Yeah, definitely don't go to fuck. I forgot the site that I watched this on.
Is there any chance that
I don't care enough to look it up.
Nickelodeon and HBO are like, do they cross streams? Are they owned by the same company?
No,
I don't think so. I think Nickelodeon's
Viacom.
Paramount.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Paramount, but Viacom is the over. They own all of them.
I mean, like it would be suspicious in a way if it was like the same company and this was like some sort of drive attention over to one of our other properties thing. But this, if you wanted to look at it in that kind of cynical fashion, it's like, is this some sort of like interspecies intercompany, like some kind of thing that's happening? I don't know, because I mean, a lot of it
because again, they do still make big stretches to make Dan Schneider look a lot worse.
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
you really don't need those stretches.
Yeah,
that's Dan Schneider.
That's true, and like I guess there's a lot of people involved that are actually convicted. Like you said, there's like at least 3 of them that are actually convicted people involved in this thing. So, I mean, I guess I'm willing to believe a lot of the accusations that are being thrown around. I mean, this is 2024. It's the era where a lot of them are not really panning out, but when you are talking about ones like this where it's there's Brian Peck, with his fucking John Wayne Gacy painting. You know what? Yeah, I think that anything's on the table at this point, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all believable.
I mean, getting a John Wayne Gacy self-portrait sounds like something you would put in a movie and they'd say, no, it's too far-fetched.
I mean, that sounds like something that you would do if you were like the fucking guy from Burzum or something. Like the guy that kills your bandmate to be metal.
Yeah.
Then you get a John Wayne Gacy painting, but not if you're a fucking Nickelodeon dialogue coach. What the fuck?
I mean, I feel like he'd be more like trying to get something from Anders Breivik, politically speaking, but
I guess so. God, I fucking hate Anders Breivik. He's in jail for killing like bunch of fucking people, and
yeah,
he complains that the video games that he's given, which include Rayman 2,
yeah.
are too babyish. He needs more adult games.
Yeah, that fucker got a
He's fucking
360 in
he's,
jail.
he's fucking shitting on Rayman 2 while he's in prison. I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him.
I mean, you could give me a fucking Sega Saturn and I could be good for like 4 years straight.
For me, it's just the Rayman 2 slander, particularly.
That too.
Fair,
I mean,
yeah.
like
So,
So,
anyways,
he got off incredibly
so-
easy.
Yeah. So there was so the documentary has come out and it has made some waves.
Yes.
Most of them very
Some
strangely
positive.
thick and white. Strangely thick and white. Okay, so
You're good.
the first thing I saw
Yeah.
after watching through the interview with Tebow was the cast of Ned's Declassified laughing at the victims.
Okay, so I listened to their response after because they talked about it after that. I saw the TikTok live and yeah, it looked bad. I can't deny that.
It's rough. I mean, at least they like say, "Oh, geez, this is horrible. We shouldn't be joking about this."
Yeah, and they because I've listened to their podcast where it's not it's not the best, it's not the worst, it's pretty solid. But they decided to talk about it. They're like, yeah, we had not watched it beforehand, and as we look back and when we watch the live, it's like, oh, we see how that could be
good
taken.
Lord, why are you commenting without watching it? Oh my God!
Well, because it had just came out on because it was Friday and Saturday that week that it came out, right? It was boom, right? I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure of that. I think it was the 18th and the 19th, or the 17th and the 18th. Fuck, hang on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it had just come out when we did our last episode. It's just I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, it just dropped that Sunday, and they were recording that on that Sunday night. So they didn't necessarily know what was going on. And admittedly, like, what they said was dumb, but also it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you threw me in that same situation, and he explained the joke was not towards them, it was towards Daniel Curtis Lee, who was the guy who played Cookie on Ned's Declassified. And it was the guy who played Ned saying that to Daniel.
So who was it that out of context made this look like they were laughing at rape victims?
The guy who played Ned.
The guy who played Ned.
Like the joke he makes, I forget exactly what it was, but it was.
Yeah. It wasn't great, but it's kind of like, what you would say to someone that in a fucked up way. Like,
yeah,
like we've said fucked up shit to each other.
Not something that you say to like several. How many people
you
are
should
watching
say on a
this?
TikTok live.
2,500 people live.
I think it was about like 2,000 or 3,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
They stepped in a little bit of shit. They also said, look, like, because I listened to the whole thing. They're like, it genuinely, like, when you hear about this, it makes you want to kind of just say, is there even a point to having kids in Hollywood? Where I kind of agree in a way where it's like, yeah, ethically, it's really hard to say, like, should children even be actors until they're like 15 or 16? Should they have that level of fame?
Yeah, you gotta really, like, if you have someone who's younger than that in Hollywood, you gotta really fucking watch them.
And you gotta hope that the parents are good. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. The parents gotta watch them.
Well, I mean, I'm saying, like, you gotta hope the parents aren't like just pushing their dream on their kid. Yeah, there's a lot of that shit.
Yeah, go read Jeanette McCurdy's book.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that seems pretty relevant now.
They did talk about her book, in I think the 4th episode. I haven't seen it, but I've read descriptions because they didn't get every actor from the shows, which makes sense. Not all of them want to speak publicly, probably, like,
which is fair. Yeah,
but yeah, no, I mean,
hey, speaking of other actors from the shows,
yes.
So hang on, I got a little hangnail. So the big part of the documentary, and this happens like right after the halfway point, is Drake Bell talking about his experiences with Brian Peck and the horrible things that
Yeah.
were done to him. And you know, the relationship between Drake Bell and Josh Peck is a very strange thing.
Yeah.
And you know we're in for some bullshit when I say that. So, Josh says that they were never friends. That's not true. Josh
Yeah.
just kind of lies about things every so often.
I do think
This is Drake and Josh.
yeah.
Yeah. The
Right,
guy who
okay.
played Josh, whose name is Josh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Josh Peck posted a TikTok like shortly after the documentary came out that seems directed at Drake. Seems. So he's basically saying like doing this the Josh overacting kind of thing like you can't see the hand motion that I did, but
Yeah.
it was very Josh Nichols like. But basically saying, hey, if we haven't spoken since last year, don't think that we're friends. Ooh, I gotcha.
Oh, okay. I
And
do think that was probably a shit post.
yeah.
Because he did
See that
eventually.
Yeah, because that's such a weird thing. Because
The thing is, for a lot of these social media influencers,
I don't know.
because Josh Peck has become one, essentially, like he's a TikTok guy also.
Yeah,
He probably like bulk records things and then has them set for like timers on days. Which the problem with doing that is you end up inevitably getting to this kind of point where
yeah,
you post something.
you usually have a really bad timing post.
Yeah, this might be one of those. He did post a thing 4 days ago from when we're recording here. Do you want to read this one or should I?
Okay, from Shua Peck, which is Josh's Instagram.
Yes.
I finished the Quiet on Set documentary and took a few days to process it. I reached out to Drake privately, but want to give my support for the survivors who were brave enough to share their stories of emotional and physical abuse on Nickelodeon sets with the world. Children should be protected. Reliving this publicly is incredibly difficult. I hope it can bring healing for the victims and their families, as well as necessary change to our industry. Hey, nice. That's a good post.
I mean,
But,
I'm going to give him the benefit of a doubt on this. I hope.
Yeah. I definitely, because one of the reasons that people thought this was about Drake is because people would comment about Drake and the documentary in the comments of this TikTok, and he would block everyone who did that.
I mean,
everyone.
I kind of get blocking people who's like the same comment over and over. It could probably feel like a brigade at some point. So,
well, yeah, but like at the very least, respond to it.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, this isn't that. I'm gonna watch that later. I haven't seen it yet. You know.
Also, thank you for reminding me something I got to bring up after this regarding Twitter.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, no, it's like I'm at least glad that like I'm glad this shit's finally like all getting put to light. There's been a lot of, you know, over the years, like I remember even on fucking V people posting about like Dan Schneider.
Oh yeah, it's been like at least a decade or more.
Yeah.
It's amazing that it took so long for people to finally get to it, but now I'm kind of amazed that it's become such a big deal.
I'm kind of glad it has, you know? It's
Yeah.
I mean, there was always like always things that were just weird about those fucking shows, man. And looking back on it now, especially like all the fucking feet shit in iCarly, it's like it's fucking baffling to me.
Well, I'm happy that I never watched these shows. You know, I mean, I guess
Drake and Josh is still a good show.
A lot of people have good memories, but now I'm just like, man, I was right not to.
Drake and Josh did not have as much weird feet stuff. It still had a little bit though.
It had its moments of weird, but yeah, no. For some reason, the idea of a web show just got Dan Schneider's feet gaze a humming.
So a little bit more about this situation because I have a few more thoughts.
Yeah.
So I did say that it seems like it was about Drake because afterwards Drake did basically say what Josh said in that interview, Instagram post,
Yeah.
that that Josh reached out and Drake was like saying, hey, chill on Josh. So yeah, that's a whole good thing. Although I do want to talk about his weird, strange behavior with Drake in particular, because he's always been saying that they were never friends. But that's just categorically like not true.
Yeah.
Like, given both of their stories, they were at the very least friends at a point,
Yeah. I mean, I can see
And
like saying we're not super big
Well, he
friends,
probably
but
doesn't want to be associated with known
yeah.
rapist Drake Bell, you know.
No,
oh yeah,
child issue person, Drake Bell. I don't necessarily know what he
Whatever.
did.
all
Yeah.
right. So I'll talk more about that in just a sec.
All right.
But it's very strange because he's also like, I'm not sure if he like lies because he wants to lie or if he's just like if he just like wants to tell a good story. But he's done something like this in the past, not with the TikTok thing, but like he was talking about the like that short reunion that they had at some like the VMAs or something like that. You'll
Yeah.
probably remember the video. It's Josh walking up to Drake, and Drake looks surprised, and he's like, "Oh, hey, it's you."
Yeah.
He Josh was on his podcast a while ago. I'm not sure how long ago this was. It only just came to my attention, but he he says that he went like Sopranos mode or something like that, like Godfather mode, and said, "Drake, you gotta apologize to my wife right now." And later Drake's like, "Yeah, no, that's not true. He was just really polite and politely asked me to apologize to his wife." And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Like, and like that's like you would think that a lie would be like in the opposite direction, You think
You'd
like if
assume.
yeah, like if Drake was lying about it, he'd be like, "Oh, well, Josh was an asshole to me." Like that seems like the easier lie to make. And I kind of like the idea that Drake is just lying for Josh's benefit, just to keep heat off of him.
Yeah.
I know that's probably not true. It's probably just like Josh doing like, playing stories up for the camera. But I think that's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
So going back to Drake real quick. He does talk about the stuff that he did, the child endangerment stuff.
Yeah.
So he does maintain that he didn't like send pictures or anything like that. It was just child endangerment, not like child sex stuff. And given that he is like very open and honest, because he said he like went to therapy and all that stuff after that, he's been focusing mostly on his like healing and stuff. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh geez. He basically said, I'm trying to move on from it. I'm trying to be a better person, try not to do that shit again. And you know what? Fuck it. If he wants to not be a weird with children, hell yeah, brother, you do that. I'm okay with Drake almost said Drake Parker. Excuse me? That's not the name. Drake Bell. I'm okay with Drake Bell comeback arc personally.
I mean, I guess, it's clear that he's like a victim of another person who has now been, faced punishment for what he's done too.
Yeah,
So
and like
I mean,
that doesn't excuse what he did.
Yeah.
But at the very least, him being willing to move on from it and not, revisit that and all that. Like at the very least, at the very least, if he doesn't do it again, that's a good thing,
Yeah, as long as, like, I mean, a second chance can be earned. It's just, if he fucks up again,
Yeah,
He doesn't
yeah.
get another one.
If he fucks up again, see ya.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
it's like you got
Goodbye.
one last chance, buddy.
Dureke campagna.
Well, I mean, yeah, to be fair, I did call him a famous child rapist, and
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
gotta
a
edit
lot of
that
people-
out.
It's just child endangerment.
I don't know. You can keep it in because I am retracting that where I'm saying like,
All
yeah,
right,
I mean,
keeping it in.
a lot of people do. Yes, keep in the part where I call him a famous child rapist, Drake Bell.
Yes, at least
I
he's
don't
not
agree
less
with that though.
famous. I mean,
I don't
Famous.
agree. He is a famous person, you know, and he was a child actor, and most 2/3 of that statement are true.
yes.
Famous child, Drake Bell.
Well, you know, yeah, you know, with Mama Max and everything, that's happened recently. It's important to keep in mind, like, yeah, I don't know exactly the extent of what happened with him, and I think a lot of people probably don't. They don't, you know, I didn't do because I didn't watch that show, so I didn't really ever bother to like, yeah, I guess that Drake guy is a fucking rapist, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
Hey,
I
you
guess
could watch
it's not
another
that.
Drake guy who's been involved with children, Degrassi.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. That one's more close to home. That's Canadian.
Yeah.
So that's our boy.
You got your own.
The funniest thing about Drake isn't even, you know, him being probably a pedophile allegedly. You can edit that out if you want.
No, that's staying in.
The funniest thing is that whole thing that he did with Anthony Fantano. I just gotta say
Oh
the weird beef he had where he started shitting on Anthony Fantano. It was very strange. No, yeah, I mean, I didn't pay much attention to that though, and when that was happening, and so now, yeah, you're mentioning it's child endangerment. I mean, I don't know the extent of it, you know, and it's probably ultimately kind of a difficult thing nebulously to sort of prove either way, I would assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, yeah, it's probably not a famous child rapist, just a famous child.
Yes, famous child, Drake Bell. So one more thing. I promise this is the last thing on the last thing unless we bring it up again and I remember something. For the Dan Schneider Nickelodeon Drake Bell hoopla. He released a music video and he kind of cooked with it. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh shit.
Really?
It's called "I Kind of Relate." So y'all can look that up at your leisure.
Okay.
All right, let's stop talking about Dan Schneider.
Let's
Yes.
stop talking about rape.
I have this tweet of Osaka from Azumanga Daioh being waterboarded in a sink. Oh,
Shit.
okay. Well, I don't care about that. VX Twitter didn't work. I don't care.
You hit the
Okay. You posted a bookmarks link. You got to post the actual link.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm just
Yep,
stupid.
so I just clicked on it and it just took me to GitHub and I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for.
There we go.
Oh.
Inshallah, she's being waterboarded.
I just clicked on a video. Oh, yep.
This makes me think of some other types of videos that I've seen before, but I don't know about that.
At least she's not going into a jar afterwards. That's one
Yeah.
positive.
It's not
She's
hot
becoming
glue.
clean.
Yeah.
You guys hear about there being a new Sims movie?
Yeah, we're getting a Sims
Isn't
movie.
Margot Robbie in that movie?
She's producing.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Which, I mean, it could work.
I really hope that they get to adapt the Hoobadooba arc. It's my favorite. Right after my Shuno.
Or
But they're
your
obviously
Sims
gonna
going
do
to
my
the
Shuno.
gym and then going to their job and then going back home.
I mean, no one would have thought that the Barbie movie would work, but arguably a lot of people would say that it did work.
That's the thing. You can come up with a plot to a Barbie movie. The fuck are you going to come up with Sims?
You can come up. No, I was gonna say The Sims is rife for plot because you can basically just make it like a Truman Show thing, much like the Barbie movie. You can do a thing where
Yeah, true.
because in fact, I saw a video recently talking about The Sims 2 for the PSP, which has a very weird fucking plot where it involves a superhero or a supervillain who's essentially a stand-in for the play. No, he's a stand-in for the player. I think his name is like Dominic Dominion or something. He's a stand-in for like a Sims player, and he equips people around the town with mind control devices, which are literally just the plumb bobs that float around your player's head.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
little Google.
Yeah, so you can do something like that. I mean, there's been stories in The Sims before that you could do something with. There's lore, there's Bella Goth and her disappearance, and Mortimer Goth, and the fact that Sims 3 is like a prequel to Sims 1, and it's all connected. Strange Town. I mean, Sims 2 on the DS is in Strange Town. Sims 2 on the PSP is in Strange Town. So is the Game Boy Advance one. They loved fucking Strange Town and Aliens. I mean, I could see there being a Sims movie that's good, but I also remember when The Sims was good, and that was like 20 years ago, so I kind of don't think it will be, you know?
Yeah,
Like, there hasn't... I mean, okay, not 20 years ago. Sims 3 was like 2009 or
I
something.
think
It was
so.
like 15 years ago The Sims was last good.
Yeah, I Halo 2 turns fucking 20 this year, by the way, boys.
Hell
Sims
yeah.
2 turns 20 this year
Oh
as
my
well.
god, yeah. Fuck me.
Yeah. So San Andreas.
Knights of the Old Republic
Andreas.
2 turns 20 this year, doesn't it?
Mean Girls. I think isn't
Yeah,
that 2005?
I think so. The 360
I think it
turns
was on
19 this
PC
year.
in 2005.
I always thought 2004
Yeah,
was a good
December
year
6th,
for shit.
2004. It was
Ooh,
basically
my birthday.
2005.
Yeah, I always thought 2004 was a good year for shit. I think Sonic Heroes always also came out like early 2004.
I think so.
I mean, questionable game Sonic Heroes, but I like it. It's shitty, but I like it.
Yeah. I've got some interesting stories here.
Go for it.
Fake PNG sites have just gotten worse. I hate this.
They really have. So, you remember how last episode we were speculating on Princess Kate and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, turns out it's nothing funny or interesting. She just has cancer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
a
not
shame.
funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking,
It's not even the
sad.
funny kind of cancer. What's her,
They
She
haven't
didn't even
announced
get like
what
a huge
kind.
funny growth on the side of her head or anything. It's just like
Yeah.
the sad kind of cancer.
You know what? I want the lump. If I'm getting it, I want a lump on my head.
You gotta get a goiter, yeah.
Exactly. I
You
want
gotta
something
look like
I gotta.
George Lucas.
I want something I gotta shave around. You know?
Yeah, I want to get a new neck.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be great.
Looks like a
I
fucking.
just want to
happen.
look like a ghoul from Fallout.
I just want the brain slug from Futurama.
Yes.
Well, that's entirely different thing.
Just that too. Yeah. But yeah, no. It turns out that all the speculation, even the weird, admittedly, the Photoshop thing's a little weird, but it's also she wanted privacy, and hey, she deserves privacy as long as she's not. If she's somehow lying about having cancer, fuck her. But I'm gonna say that she's not because I'm not a piece of shit.
Yeah, probably not that. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the theories were that she was fucking assassinated or something.
Cloning. No, just something mundane and sad and tragic.
Yeah.
I wish him the best. I don't give a fuck about the royal family. I'm not one of those people. We can agree that the people who like obsessively get it, like the monarchists, are fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like anyone who cares about the fucking royal family at all, really. I mean, it's a sign to me that you're, I don't know.
It's like
I don't want to be
outside
all
of-
you're beneath me, but man, that's just a whole different. It's like worse than celebrity worship. At least they're in movies and shit.
Yeah,
At least celebrities give you something.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, a lot of
monarchy-
it now is like TikTok people, but historically, celebrities have been,
But I mean, they've had all their power stripped for almost like a whole fucking century. Like, the title of prince and king and all that is literally just a title.
They're just figureheads that drive tourism. That's the only reason that they're still around. It's just tourism.
Now, mind you. See, the difference is Kate is liked, so we all kind of felt sad for her getting cancer. King Charles got diagnosed with cancer last month, and everyone was kind of like, good. It's time.
I keep forgetting, he wasn't one of the pedophiles, right? I mean,
Was he?
not one of the known pedophiles. Yeah, that was the other guy, right. Well, I don't know. I don't care about him. I mean, I don't have any ill will toward him, but...
Well, no, it's just this dude has spent his entire life like, finally, the throne is almost mine. And then he had to wait for his fucking mom to die for like 40 years. Finally gets it, then like first year gets cancer.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he was like 90 or something. I
yeah,
mean,
it's like, holy shit, imagine your luck.
and meanwhile, I know we've talked about it. I can
Yeah.
never get over the fact that the woman who was in like I don't know, like a few episodes of
Suits.
Fringe season 2
Yeah, and
is like
like
a
Suits.
famous royal person now. Yeah, Suits, which is
Yeah.
a show that people like for some reason, and I swear it's just because she's in it and the two main guys are hot.
But I
So
mean,
like
it has its
women watch it
moments.
for that reason.
I've watched the first season,
My
most of
dad
it.
watched it. I think it was.
Yeah.
I guess it's like it's above average. I maybe, but I don't know, man. It
It's
just
a
seems so
perfect,
dull.
you know what it is? It is a perfect dad show, you know?
Yeah, or mom show. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Where it's like NCIS. Where it's like, we're gonna watch every season of that fucking bitch. Like,
God.
my my
That's
my mom
amazing.
my mom still watches, like, will rewatch from the first season NCIS and then run it back when she like hits the end of the newest one. She will do
It's
Oh,
that.
jeez.
it's fucking amazing how many versions because they'll have like CSI, like normal CSI, which
Yeah,
I think they did eventually call CSI Las Vegas.
I think they did.
Um, and that's been going since I don't know 1997 or something. I mean, I think it's still
Yeah,
on, and it's been going continuously since then. And then there's like three spin-offs of that. And then that's just one. That's just one of the number or the letter shows. Then you got NCIS, which I think
yeah.
there's two spin-offs of that.
Well, okay.
And the
So
original is still going.
buckle up for this train here. First
Go
off,
for it.
NCIS is a spin-off of Jag. You remember
What
Jag?
is it?
It is.
I had no idea. I remember Jag.
It is a canonical spin-off that has the characters from Jag also go forward into NCIS because like Catherine Bell makes a few appearances.
Oh no, yeah, because me and my dad used to watch it. I do remember that at one point being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is related to yeah, that show." Really, that because that's not a show that's like on TV still.
No,
Jag.
it ended in ooh, good question. I
That was
want to
like
say
early 2000s.
wow, it ended in 2005, started in 95. So it got 10 years. And then
Wow.
NCIS came out and was an even bigger fucking hit. And it's still
Yeah.
going. 21 seasons, 461 episodes. Jesus
Oh my God.
fuck. And then it has become a whole ass franchise. Take a
Yeah.
guess on how many spinoffs.
I think 3, right?
Tristan?
6.
Okay. 4 with a 5th one coming soon.
What
Actually,
even are
actually,
they?
hang on. Tristan is actually technically right because 2 spinoffs are coming. So
Oh God.
Oh,
it is
shit.
6. Um,
What are the spin-offs? Name all of them right now.
okay, first one is
I demand you name all of them and explain how they're all different.
NCIS
bitch.
Los Angeles with Chris O'Donnell, LL Cool J.
I've seen that one. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Then NCIS Nowlands with Scott Bakula and CCH Pounder in it.
I'm aware of that. Yeah.
Yep. Then there's NCIS Hawaii with
Okay, now you're losing me. Now
Vanessa-
you're getting into this is just Hawaii 5-0, isn't it?
It basically, but we got Vanessa Lachey as the host, which, I mean, she's hot, but she was a beauty pageant lady before being an
I
actor.
like how you say host like it's a reality show. I mean,
yeah,
they
it's
basically
a
are.
host. Then the latest one is NCIS Sydney, which is Sydney,
Sydney.
Australia.
Yeah, okay. I know
Which-
that they made a
Yeah.
they made a fucking Toronto Law and Order recently, and apparently it's not good.
I feel like it tanked.
I think they might have already canceled it. Yeah, that was an unfortunate experiment, if so, because I mean, there's probably a way you could have done crime in Canada, but I mean,
Oh, yeah.
inherently, there's just not as much going on here as there is in the States.
Yeah, but set it in Vancouver, set it in
They
Toronto.
put it in Toronto, but apparently that wasn't fucking enough.
Oh, you could have done so much cool shit with Toronto.
You'd think so. No, that they clearly didn't know what the fuck they were doing, because like there's people just smoking crack on buses in Toronto.
Well, the big problem is like New York fits so well for what Law and Order is. It makes sense because Law and Order
Yeah.
effectively is like the same episode, just shot differently and lit differently, but it's basically the same episode each episode.
How many Law and Orders are there?
That is a
So fucking many.
that is a great. We can do a whole just why does this show have 17 spin-offs hunk and give like an hour.
This is driving me insane. Don't tell me there's like spin-offs to NYPD Blue as well.
I think there might be. Okay,
no.
This might kill Claw. We need to be careful. Okay, I love how when I go to the Wikipedia page for a franchise, it has past series, current series, in development / unproduced series. It's like, and then other related series, foreign adaptations, series timeline. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god, this is NYPD Blue?
No, this is Law and Order.
Law and Order, okay. So the only ones I know are like, what? Special Victims Unit, the original, and I guess the Toronto one.
Yep. So, okay, the current ongoing ones are Law and Order. They actually brought the original series back because they stopped it in 2010, but in 2022 they were like, you know what? We're bringing it back, baby. 21st season.
Oh, great.
So that's ongoing.
Thank God there wasn't enough of that, right.
Yeah, then you've got Law and Order Special Victims Unit, where Ice-T has basically, like, the same conversation each episode. That's a John Mulaney.
So you're telling me that they fucked his mama?
They came in his sister's corpse? There's Law and Order
I got
Organized
news
Crime.
for you. Oh, I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, so originally Christopher Maloney, the guy who played Elliot Stabler, he left to go do a show on Sci-Fi called Happy, which was actually pretty good. But after the third season, it kind of was over. And
Isn't that the fucking guy who wound up making The Mandalorian or some shit? No, that's a different guy. That's like
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
Oh, right. No. Yeah.
But yeah, no, they decided to give him his own spinoff instead of being on Special Victims Unit. So he now has Organized Crime. And then we get to the spinoffs that are no longer on air or produced. So, Criminal Intent, which had Vincent D'Onofrio as the lead.
Yeah, that one sounds familiar, yeah.
Yep, Trial by Jury, and then Law and Order LA, and Law and Order True Crime. Which was kind of like their... Like, NBC wanted to do American Crime Story because they thought American Crime Story was going to be successful. Which technically was more successful than this, but they created a whole season about the Menendez murders. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, like those back in the day.
Yeah, I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah, they created a whole season, and then they just never did another one. So that was interesting. Then the other two ones we got here are the ones that were unproduced. I'm going to take a drink here so I can freshen my throat. So the first one was going to be... Actually, I'll go to the second one first, because the first one's funny. The second one was going to be Law and Order for the Defense, which was basically showing the inside of a criminal defense firm. And it kind of went nowhere. The second one, however, is the funniest one by concept. Law and Order Hate Crimes.
Huh.
Yep.
How long did that one go for?
Well, so they started...
They produced a pilot and nothing else.
Well, this is where it gets interesting. 2018, they decided to do an order for it. 2019, they decided to redevelop it. They put it in redevelopment. And they decided to start working on it again in 2020, right before the George Floyd riots. Yep. And guess what has had no information since then. Yep.
I think it's funny though. They started work on it after the fucking Jussie Smollett stuff.
Yeah.
Because that was early 2019.
Oh,
right in there in that little pocket of time, yeah.
So
a magical time.
This show also has so many goddamn crossovers. This also technically is canon the Homicide Life on the Street because of John Munch, who was Richard Belzer's character.
Munch.
So that's weird. And then you've also got the fact that it's crossed over with like all of the Chicago like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, because those are also Dick Wolf shows.
The Dick
Dick
Wolves.
Wolf.
Oh yeah. By the way, can we talk about how Dick Wolf has his own cinematic universe, the Dick Cinematic Universe?
The Dick Cinema. That's what they call it.
That's
Huh?
not what they call it. That's
Amazing.
what I'm calling it.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
he's got like the Law and Order franchise. He's got the Chicago PD, Chicago Fire series. He's also the executive producer and I think showrunner of the FBI series on CBS. This man literally just loves creating like crime stuff. Which respect, you know?
Yeah, he likes his crime.
It's like Tom Clancy or something. Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. Except for TV.
Tom Clancy, except he writes lines like "They leveled up."
Oh God, I still haven't seen the Gamer Girl episode.
Ooh, you gotta watch it on stream or something.
I should.
What
I don't
we
know
need
if I
to do
can
is
do
we need to
that
do an
exactly.
episode about that. We need to
All
just
right.
cover that. I'm trying to find one more thing I got here from Dick Wolf. Okay, he's also wanting to do a new, like another series called LA Fire and Rescue. So he's just trying to expand to every bit of the country. He's got Chicago,
I mean,
got New York.
yeah, there's like fucking. We have to make every type of, every type of emergency service in every city, and that's how you do it.
I mean,
That's
Can't
how
wait!
you
Can't
make
wait until like
good content.
2087 when they get to my city.
hell yeah. Spokane PD.
Well, the
Fucking
problem,
Akron, Ohio.
like they just got to,
911.
they just got to my city, and it's apparently real bad. So
Yeah. I'm curious to see what Toronto looks like from a view of Dick Wolf. Which, by the way, he looks exactly like a guy named Dick Wolf would look like.
He does.
I love. You know what? In this house, we love and respect Dick Wolf.
I don't know. I'm skeptical about Dick.
I don't know about love and respect, but hey, we tolerate Dick Wolf.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you want another story? I got a weird one because we're gonna feel different ways about this. I think.
I got a really quick one. It's just
Alright.
kind of really funny to say out loud.
Shoot.
I want you guys to speaking of organized crime.
Yeah.
I want you guys to rate this on a scale of how unhinged this sounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't buy the Italian olive oil at the supermarket. The mafia dilutes it.
That's pretty unhinged. I
Who
respect
came up
it.
with this one? I'd say it's
I'm gonna
possibly
guess
true.
Brianna Wu came up with this one. Tristan?
Yeah, I would say it's
No.
possibly true.
No, it's real.
It's real?
It's real, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? I kind of respect that.
You mean at all the supermarkets or like?
Hang on.
I mean, look, here's the thing, right? Effectively, it's not the worst way to save money.
How do they Oh, I guess they
Yeah,
put like water in it?
water.
Yeah, well, actually, it's different oils, like
Different-
canola oil and stuff.
Okay,
Oh.
I mean, I could.
I mean, I'm just like, at what point do I have to give a shit though? It's
I mean,
like I'm
yeah.
still getting what I thought have thought for my whole life is olive oil, so it's fine.
It's like that video. I forgot who made it, and shout out to the guy who did. Whenever I remember the name, it's like how much sawdust can you put into a Rice Krispie treat before you start tasting the sawdust? It's kind of like that, where it's like how much oil can you put in before you start tasting the other oils? Really, like. I gotta feel it's
Well, I mean
30%.
that's the thing though. Canola oil and vegetable oil and stuff. It's like massively less healthy than olive oil.
I suppose that's true. Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where it's like, if they just put it on the label, people would buy it still. Be like, okay,
Probably.
it's like if you
Well,
would
yeah,
if you just put this on the label and just say olive quote unquote oil, it's like, all right, people would be fine with that.
Yeah, or olive oil flavored. Yeah, olive oil flavored product.
Yeah.
Artificially
like when
flavored
they-
olive oil.
I always like when they do that with chocolate that's like not enough chocolate, so they call it chocolatey candy.
See, they don't do that
It's
here.
like-
They just call it chocolate
Oh.
still.
Yeah, I guess we have different rules in Canada. If it's like not enough content of cocoa or some shit, then
Yeah.
it's legally has to be called chocolatey candy.
Yeah, you guys would we'd have to call a lot of shit here chocolatey candy.
Probably.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, again, this feels like, I mean, it is a crime. I think it's a crime. I should say, I think it's a crime. Because legally I can't say that.
This is an article from 2016 too.
Yeah,
So
it's been
happening for
it's
a
been
while.
real for a while.
I also
Yeah.
don't.
I
I don't
about
personally use a lot of olive oil. Now that I think about it,
I use olive oil, but I think ours is like Spanish.
that's
Mm.
fair.
So it's the
Those
Spanish
Spaniards.
mafia that's involved.
Those Spaniards, they do it right. They don't cut their shit.
I mean, imagine freebasing olive oil. That's all I can think of.
I mean, I'm just reminded there's like a store I saw at one point that was just an olive oil store. You go in and they've got like a whole bunch of different olive oils, and I'm wondering if even that would be diluted and corrupted and impure. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's an interesting thought.
It terrifies me to my core.
Spooks
Yes.
me. Yeah, fuck, man. All right, I got a Kotaku story. Because
All right.
Right, yeah.
yeah, I feel like we all effectively can say we don't like Kotaku for many different reasons.
Yeah.
Innumerable, yes.
It's not my go-to site. It's kind of like if I have to, I'll click a Kotaku link. But
Yeah, if there's like nothing else.
yeah, it's like if they break a story, fine, whatever. But recently, about a year and a half or about 2 years ago, they got purchased by a company called Geo Media, who purchased them from Gizmodo Media, who, like, without getting too deep into the weeds, they got spun off after a lawsuit and then got sold and then got
They
bought
used
and bought
to
and
be
bought.
Gawker, but
Yeah,
now
they used to
they're
be
like
Gawker.
they've been passed down. Nobody wants Kotaku, so
Yeah, and
Which, I mean, can you blame them?
it is
No.
a tainted brand. But recently,
great job, gamers! Gamergate victory. Am I right? Yeah.
Hell
not
yeah.
really.
The only
Kotaku.
one that there was, really.
Not even really. Kotaku did it to themselves.
Yeah, this one, this one's kind of like by proxy you could get a win, but really it's like death.
I was talking about that time that they lost a whole shit ton of money because people were contacting advertisers.
That was
Oh,
that
I
was
guess
pretty
so.
funny.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, recently, they've kind of had a string of editor-in-chief losses. They fired Patricia Hernandez.
Oh, nice!
Uh,
Finally.
I
Well,
shouldn't celebrate that.
yeah.
However, comma.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's a little bittersweet, you know, or it's like, I should be cheering for this. But yeah, effectively, Kotaku's new parent company wants them to churn out guides, which, again, we've all criticized Kotaku for years. One thing that they were never known for was guides. That's like IGN,
Yeah.
Game Facts.
How they get the Scrimmy Bingus and Legend of the Crinkle Bunkle, and it's like mostly fluff.
Exactly, where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, they put out like headlines and like mostly news or news,
Quote unquote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to differentiate that with my voice there. News and news. Like they had some news, but also it's mostly news. But yeah, no. Lately they've been. I'm sending a photo to you guys to show. They've been putting on like a big sidebar for games, game tips and guides, because effectively we're now in an era where that does get clicks still. I mean, there are times I look for shit where I'm like, okay, I need to just Google it.
Yeah, when I was playing FF7 Rebirth, there were a couple times where I looked some stuff up, and it's the disgusting fucking modern thing where you look up like I remember what it was. So there's a part in FF7 Rebirth you're forced to play as Kate Sith, the shitty little cat
Oh
guy.
god, I'm not there yet.
And
Ugh.
yeah, you're forced to play as him, and there's an enemy that he's just not balanced for. It's like the hard. Even at the I've played the final boss of the game, haven't beaten it yet, but I played it. Still, the hardest fight in the game possibly is just
Oh,
a
shit.
random enemy you're forced to play. Forced to fight as Kate Sith. So I looked up FF7 Rebirth Adjudicator, and because that's the name of the enemy. And so there's like 500 articles from every shitty no-name gamer plus website, you know, and Kotaku, of course, is one of those, I guess. And that's what they want to be now. That's what apparently is the ticket to success, where it's like you click on it and it'll tell you kind of, it might even give you a tip that's helpful potentially sometimes.
Yeah.
I did have one time where it's like, this works that way. I didn't know. Okay. But that was in an article where it was like fucking like 3 pages long for one tip that I needed for like one line, and every paragraph had the name of the game typed out fully, like at least once. So it's full SEO, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth tips, tricks, and flips and fix to get. You want to know how to fix.
Dick sucked.
Yeah, and it's every one of, and there's a million of those, and I don't know if they're made by AI or what. I mean, I don't even know why you need to buy Kotaku to do that. I guess name, but like at that point,
yeah.
you don't even need to have anybody employed. Just get an AI to fucking churn out every shitty article you need at that point.
Well, I mean, I guess there's one positive. They're paying people to churn out guides. That's something. Like at least it's a person behind it. I mean,
it's bad that that's the new, like, oh hey, you know,
bad. That's what standard we're reaching.
Not a robot.
The bar has been lowered to such an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
James Cameron to bring it back up.
Huh.
we were.
We need some snazzy effects on this one.
God, again, you know, Kotaku fucking sucks, but I would rather see. I guess I'd rather see them alive and suck than like become a churn factory for guides. That's a fate worse than death, I think.
Well, there's a really good YouTuber, I think it's Zero Lenny, who does he does those videos where it's like beating Dark Souls with the IGN guide, or with the Game Facts guide or whatever, and you know, it revels in how fucking cringe some of those were like 10 years ago, where it would be like one of the famous quotes is, "The true Dark Souls begins here." And at one point it calls the reader "my sweet little angel baby."
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's
my sweet
it's the baby added on to the end.
yeah it's
I hope that writer got a raise for that one.
It's great, and it's very kitschy. And then he points out, like, there's a point where he can no longer do that. I think it was maybe Dark Souls 3 was the last one, because Elden Ring, he pointed out, like, you look at the fucking Elden Ring guide, and it's like machine generated. There's no soul, there's no sweet angel baby, there's no Dark Souls begins here. It's just go here, do this, watch the video, fuck you. That's the guide. And it sucks. It's a real shame. That's what Kotaku, even if it was guides that were like stupid fucking kitschy garbage like that would be one thing, but you know it's not. It's just gonna be, you know, it's gonna be exactly what, you know, what we're saying. It's AI churned out shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the guide for because like, so I've used guides over the years before, but I can tell you this: I'm wondering if they have a fucking COD Zombies, because the Easter eggs for those are fucking absurd and annoying. I'm gonna see if they have a guide for them and how bad it is. Like, I actually am kind of curious now.
All right.
But yeah, no, like, I wish the best for everyone to land, because, well, like, I'd rather Kotaku die by natural causes than this, you know?
Yeah.
It's
being reduced to a click farm.
Yeah, it would be like watching somebody kind of hollow out your grandmother and like control her body like that, you know.
Oh god.
That's what
Well,
it
it would be
feels
like
like.
it would be like if Cracked was shit. Because
Yeah,
that's basically what happened to Cracked. But
they
it would be like if
they've they've
Cracked was a
recovered a
bad
bit.
website.
Yeah.
Have there?
There's been some more. I mostly watch like the video stuff now. I haven't checked the website in a little bit, but they actually produce video content again, which they weren't doing after the first layoffs. And it's been pretty solid. They've had some interesting folks on their podcasts. I mean, I don't listen to podcasts as much, but I'll watch like the 10-minute videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, maybe Kotaku can salvage themselves somehow in the midst of all this. But I mean, there was never much of Kotaku to salvage,
Yeah.
so like I guess I'm not surprised.
There wasn't much. There
I
was.
wouldn't say they deserve better than this, you know?
I mean, I wish it was something else than this. Like I said, I wish it was natural causes than just
Either that or like a hilarious clusterfuck.
yeah, like those are at least
Like-
interesting. When
Like
something
in
closes
Steven
like
Steven Tortilla shat himself all over the office, and now they can't afford to clean it up or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's something funny.
Well, no, I mean, even if it was like some insane dramatic shit where Steven Tortilla, he like, he's like, he's like on super cocaine, and it's like there's a romance drama, and
Yeah.
this happened to me at a place I worked one time where the boss like he like OD'd on coke,
oh shit,
and then there was like a battle between the people underneath him because apparently he was fucking two women. Like, if it was something like that, if it was some insane shit and Kotaku went down in a blaze of glory, that would be great. But it's probably just going to be absorbed into the corporate machine.
Oh
It's
shit!
probably-
Go ahead.
Oh,
Finish
no,
up.
it's probably just going to be... That's all I'm saying. It's just going to be absorbed into whatever fucking guide website this is, yeah.
yeah.
So speaking of blaze of glory, really quick thing. Got to make fun of Elon Musk every episode.
Hell
Of
yeah.
course.
So I'm guessing the Twitter app, or as it is known now, X,
Yikes.
was like I guess getting confused for porn or not being downloaded as much because people don't think it's Twitter. So the little tagline in the like the Google Play Store used to be "Blaze your glory," and now it's just formerly Twitter.
Formerly Twitter. I mean, at least
Uh,
now he finally just admits, like, yeah, better to just admit this was just Twitter.
that's pathetic.
Yeah. If he was really cool, he'd go full hog and just rename it back to Twitter.
It
Well,
would be
that's never going to happen.
it would be the best thing he could do for his brand and be able to get money. Therefore, it
Yeah.
would never happen.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he wants to take blocking away.
Yeah, he's wanting to remove the block feature because everyone blocks his awful ads and his posts. And
Yeah, and yeah, you
Just go back to
can't
muting.
do that. You can't do that because both
Harassment
the
laws and shit.
both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store have policies where if you're posting to social media, you have to have a block feature.
Yeah.
Like you have to, or else they will take it down.
yeah, it's
So,
like they
yeah,
will straight
real-
up remove it.
Real smart moves from the smartest man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope he does it. You know, it'd be funny.
Yeah, it'd be really funny.
But the
Although
faster
I'd
he takes
be-
this website, the happier I'll be.
I would be pissed if he just like removed blocking and then brought it back later, but the blocks don't like the blocks. All your blocks went away, so I'd have to reblog every single stupid fucking ad.
Oh, that's 100% going. Like my brother, that's guaranteed.
Oh yeah,
It's set in
yeah.
stone.
I know. Oh, hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully the
So
1 in a million chance.
Everyone's gonna get a chance to call like Brianna Wu a retard again, and then
That
get
that is that is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to actually not being blocked by all of these people.
Yeah,
People that I
Yeah.
don't fucking know.
there's a few people I wouldn't
People I've
mind
never
staying
fucking
blocked
spoken
by. But
to.
I got a headline here that's just great because
Hell yeah.
I agree with this one. Man changes name to literally anybody else and announces United States presidential run.
Ah, fuck, he has my vote.
Yep, this guy's a winner.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I like that.
Formerly known as Dustin Eby, the 35-year-old Texas
Never
man
mind. His name is Dustin. Fuck him.
No, hang on.
It's
No,
not no good.
that isn't his name anymore, Claw. It is literally anybody else. Legally, it is his name now.
I guess. I guess.
He needs 113,000 signatures from non-primary voters in the state of Texas by May to get his name on ballots. So if we have any Texas listeners, it is your duty. Nay.
Do not vote in your local fucking primaries.
Well,
go sign this man's petition.
Yeah, go sign the petition.
Maybe
then vote for
it.
him in the primaries. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. But
yeah.
Whatever you gotta do, get him in office, people.
Look it up.
And then get him on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll take him.
I like this guy's beliefs either. We don't have a neither option on the ballot, and this kind of fills that role. The candidate's website says, literally anybody else isn't a person, it's a rally cry. For too long, Americans have been the victim of political parties putting party loyalty over governance. Together, let's send a message to Washington and say you will represent or be replaced. Another quote here.
Shit, based.
Yeah. Another quote here says, America should not be stuck choosing between the king of debt, his self-declaration, declaration, and an 81-year-old. Which, again, true.
Real. That's so fucking real.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I want to vote for this man.
I respect this guy. I don't know if he's going to get all the signatures. He fucking should.
I'm going to write him in either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of inside baseball here. We had a thing we did recently where we put together all of our, yeses and nos regarding potential sponsors, and one of the ones that I think we were all against that Tristan put forth was political campaigns. I'm gonna say
there's an asterisk.
There's an asterisk there now, yeah, because if literally anybody else wants to be sponsored, sponsor the podcast, I guess I would be maybe down with that, and depending on what his platform actually winds up being. Obviously, he won't win.
Yeah,
but I'm also
this is kind of a vote for Vermin Supreme here, but
right. If I was in America, I would either just not vote or I would vote for someone like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what I would go for if I had these options.
I respect it. I hope he keeps the name too.
In 2016, everybody got conned by the possibility of the fucking third parties, and I would love it if the third parties were an option, people. I would love it if it wasn't a two-party system, but what is Aleppo set that possibility back by fucking 400 years. It's never gonna happen.
By the way, isn't it wild how Gary Johnson asks where's Aleppo, but Trump literally says...
Not even where is Aleppo.
Yeah.
What is... He didn't even know the concept of Aleppo.
I love that. I fucking love that.
But then the guy who was supposed to be his vice president wasn't completely insane, but he was just barely even there.
The Green Party picks him and Jill Stein. It's
Jill Stein wanted to reopen an inquiry into 9/11, which I remember people saying that was very funny and we should vote for her.
You know what? I honestly, if she came up with that now, she may win.
Yeah, just reopen that 9/11 investigation. What harm could go?
It's been a long time, people. It's time to ask some questions.
Yeah, nobody wants to ask a question when that third plane hit. We all saw it. I remember it. I was there for it.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
I was in it.
Yeah. I
was in the plane.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a Loud Equals Funny exclusive, people.
Yeah.
40 episodes in the running. You're going to need to watch all of them to get the context, though.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Jill Stein. My number's in the description. Please call
me.
On
the podcast, Jill Stein.
We all know why. We all know why you're asking her to call you. Come on, bro.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, look, Jill Stein's a gilf. I could go for it. She's about the age to be a gilf now. It's been about 8 years since I last saw her.
You see, Bane, it would have been funny if you didn't go whole hog into gilf.
Yeah, you're right.
If
Yeah.
they didn't just completely dehumanize her by calling her a gilf. So
Can I call
speaking of
Gary
you
Johnson a
being
gilf?
Yes.
maybe. Speaking of you being a stupid retard, let's talk about the Halo show.
Yes.
Oh, good lord. Oh boy.
Look, I didn't hate the first season. I actively thought it could be a good show. It just needed work, and they did it. They improved on the things I needed them to work on.
According to no one but you, and we
Yes.
just talked about Kotaku, a retarded Kotaku writer who I think was the same. I think she nice.
Thank you,
The
Joseph.
same woman who I believe wrote the article shitting on the Persona 5 singer for saying the dreaded R slur when in fact she was not, but she has a Japanese accent.
I mean, look, a broken clock can be right twice a day.
And she was also the one who was coming out hardcore in defense of Sweet Baby recently.
Broken clocks twice days, yes.
Bane.
Look, I will back myself up and
okay,
say,
in general media liking, how does this fare next to the Avengers game?
It's better than the Avengers game.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
That's good, everyone. Guys, the Halo season 2 show is better than the Avengers game.
Hell yeah. Yak. Nickelodeon Yak.
I really hope that these can be heard.
They can. They can. I heard
sick.
it.
Hell yeah.
It's in the recording.
Bane, why do you want attention so badly?
I don't want attention.
They don't pay you for this.
They
Again,
do not.
I said this on stream. What's very sad about this is that they don't pay you for this. If you were a shill for money, it would make sense, but they don't.
No, like
they don't even pay you for. He does it for free.
I mean, I'll defend it in saying this. They take, because everyone wants a straight adaptation of the games for movies or a TV show. That would suck. Inherently, a Halo 1 film would suck because it's designed to be a video game. It's a fun game. It's a great game.
I don't know. I feel like it could have some potential.
Maybe they fucking shouldn't adapt it then. Maybe you should just fucking play Halo 1, you pieces of shit.
But there's also the books. There's a Fall of Reach.
So adapt those then, and they do, don't they?
They do. Okay, it is a different timeline. They classify it as the silver timeline, I believe.
Yeah, it's the retarded Halo TV show timeline where they accidentally hired people that don't care about Halo, so now they have to
hang on.
horribly reverse course by getting people. Yeah, they got to get people back in who are like, oh god, what do you people do to this? I guess we can make this one happen. Uh-oh.
Well, no, okay, so they change things around to be able to tell a show, because like, I don't know how to describe it in a way that's not going to sound like I'm rambling here, but
I'll go for it. I'm curious.
With the books, like, there is a lot of preamble to, like, going to Installation 04, like, you get to learn about the Spartan program, and this one, like, you get the Spartan 2s, they do kind of, like, of course, they've only got 9 episodes, they have to kind of shorten things down, so essentially, the Spartan 2s are a little bit of the Spartan 3s in, like, the canon, if that makes sense.
God. Oh, God.
But this...
I mean, I don't remember the Halo lore that closely to know exactly what you mean, but okay.
Well, okay, so the Spartan 3s effectively were, like, Tristan, you'll kind of agree with me on this. They were set to basically go on suicide missions and die.
Yeah.
They do.
They were also a lot less morally dubious in their creation, and thus are a little bit less interesting.
Yeah, but with this one, like they have to show like how Halsey, Halsey's effectively space Hitler, and the thing she did was basically a eugenics program to, like, build up perfect warriors to crush insurrectionist forces, and they touch on that in the show, which, if you play the games, you would never know about the innies. You would never know about, like, all the stuff about the Spartan program. You would know about Chief. You would know about him on the ring. You would know about that. They blend it pretty well in the show, I think. I would actually, when we do a Halo Hyperfixation, I would like you guys to watch it to talk about it eventually.
I will watch it. I will watch it specifically until I stop liking it. So about 4 episodes.
Can you skip the first season?
No, because it.
Oh, I see.
It is setting up to.
Crucial TV watching, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah, most shows go from season 1 to season 2 to yeah.
Everyone says you can skip to season 3 of Picard, though.
Well, Picard isn't a real show until season 3.
Neither is the Halo show, Bane!
No, I'll say there's an actual real show here. Like,
yeah, that's you saying that. No one else is saying that.
All right. I'm just saying. I think it's better than what people make it out to be. There are far worse adaptations. This could have been a far worse adaptation. Halo Nightfall exists. That's worse than this.
Yeah, Halo Nightfall does suck.
Yeah, no,
yeah, I mean,
like if anyone rates Halo Nightfall better than the TV show on Paramount, they are wrong and stupid. I'll say that straight up. They're wrong and stupid.
I mean, you're wrong.
I mean, I'm wrong about some things and stupid about some things. But on this, I will disagree.
A lot of people are wrong and stupid about a lot of things. A lot of users are wrong, but you know, I did see Charlie. Of course, I didn't watch the show, to be fair, but let's also, to be fair, only Bane did, and Charlie, I guess, because Charlie also did a review, and I saw that, and yeah, I mean, I've seen other people talk about it, and how most people apparently think they really fucked up. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Da 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 da. The flood.
Yeah.
Most people think they really. Most people think they did. Charlie said he liked it. I've heard most people say it's like a generic zombie and it sucks.
Well, you're seeing the first stages of, again, in the games we see a very rapid infection, like just inherently, because you got to get to the point in a video game.
Yeah, and then that's what made the flood so scary, because they could just immediately fucking overtake you.
But I mean, in the books, like when they cover the flood, there's a lot to like just becoming infected that we don't see in the games, like just from the books. And I mean, I'll say this: the first bits of infection, they kind of look like zombies, but you do see like there are tentacles. People fucking grow out tentacles during.
Yeah, that shit looked like fucking Dead Space.
I mean, there's tentacles on platforms. I'm expecting
not many.
Well, I'm expecting like season 3, we're going to see like actual infector forms and all that.
I don't think it's gotten a fucking season 3 because they haven't said anything about it. People said that about
season 2, and they did the same thing with season 2.
They haven't said anything about it, and nobody's been fucking talking about this thing, not positively, except for the dolt that works at Kotaku and you. Nobody's been positively praising this season 2, so like, it's been basically people ignoring it and people shitting on it.
Paramount's like actually done advertising for it. Like I'm actually seeing it on like
yeah, but no one has that stupid streaming service, so nobody's fucking watching it. I mean, I don't even think I can watch it, literally.
I think you can. I
don't think I can. I mean, unless I buy some extra stupid bonus fucking service. I mean, we don't get Paramount Plus in Canada, so
I'm seeing where it's streaming in Canada.
I'm not going to watch it. I'm not asking for your help. I'm just saying I need to do homework to find where this fucking show is. Nobody's watching it.
Oh, I guess Paramount Plus is in Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, even still, nobody fucking has Paramount Plus.
Yeah. I mean, Paramount Plus isn't like isn't a great streaming series.
Apparently, it barely even fucking runs some things. I think I was watching.
It's better than
LS
Peacock.
Mark or something.
Yeah, but that's not really much of a competition.
It might have been Peacock. LS Mark, I think, mentioned that like a lot of it might not have been him. Someone I was watching mentioned that a lot of one of those two services, a lot of their stuff just buffers like throughout watching it. And
it's Peacock then.
Okay, yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'll compare it to the Twisted Metal show because I was not expecting that one to be good, and it was because all the trailers for that looked like ass. But
why do you think everyone that doesn't like the show, Bane?
Well, I think people really like. Okay, people want a Halo show. I think, but people want
correct.
But people want direct game adaptations. which
Yeah.
I'd be down for. But
I mean, here's the thing.
like that they pushed back a little bit and went towards the books more. I like
Yeah, but that's the thing. You don't have
They're
fucking
not even
John.
adaptations of the books, though.
You don't have John Halo fucking a human that's somehow
I mean,
allied with the Covenant.
I mean, look,
in the
that's
books.
the thing I pushed back on season 1. First off, I did push back on that.
But you have to watch that for season 2, you say, so that's still relevant. So that's still going to be fucking coloring your perception of season 2.
I think. I mean, again,
it's
I've
not even like a Game
that.
of Thrones scenario where it's like, oh, later it gets bad, but early it's good. No, it's like early, the whole fundamentals of the show that set the whole fucking thing up are bad. And you're always seeing the dude's face and his ass for some reason.
I mean,
Like
the man ass is a little weird. I don't. Okay, here's the thing I'll say. I don't mind him taking off the helmet. At first, I did not like it, but as we go on, there is this kind of
TV show. It's understandable. The actor,
like Mr. Chief doesn't wear his helmet literally all of the time.
Yeah, in the books, again, takes it off pretty frequently.
And he's also a redhead, so
True.
The books aren't canon.
He's supposed to be like a. I don't think I don't know. I was under the impression that he looks more like a fucking weirdo and like kind of a weird albino with like fucked up skin or something.
I think
you see a little of him in the game.
He's bald now. I'm pretty
sure.
Because
that's what we see at the end of 4 if you finish on Legendary. But my reading of that scene is he's been in the armor so long because you got to think
man's got no vitamin D.
Yeah, he's been in the ship, especially just floating. Like
no, I mean that's the least of the problems.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you say they need to adapt it to the TV format, but it's like they adapt it into the format of like horribly stretching shit out with things no one cares about, with like weird side quest fucking sub politics shit that they just invent with like human characters that don't matter.
You got to think also. You got to keep. The problem is you got to keep an audience interested.
You're almost like admitting that the Halo series shouldn't be a TV show is basically what I'm hearing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
like I think it should have been a movie, if anything. I think they could have made a Halo 1 movie or a Fall of Reach movie, but like the way they did the show, it's just I don't think they did it.
Here's my biggest problem with the series, and I'll admit it's probably the structure of television in its current format as it is. 8 to 9 episodes is okay to tell the story they're telling, but personally, I would prefer like 10 to 12.
Oh, so they could pad it out more.
Well, they could. Okay, so all right, I'll explain some season 2 spoilers. Well, hang on. Let me take the room here. Let me take the room. Okay. So, the Fall of Reach happens. It technically over like the course of the first 4 episodes, but like we see Reach fall within 2, and I'm okay with how it fell, and I'm okay with the story that got told. I just would have preferred a little bit more time seeing the world around, like seeing what was going on as it fell. We kind of don't get a lot of time with that, disappointingly. We see it get glassed, though.
I mean,
great. And that leads to the Spartan 3 program. That's how this differs. But like the Spartan 3s obviously existed before Reach and were there for a Fall of Reach, but in this series, the Fall of Reach causes the Spartan 3 program.
See, I don't really believe that people are upset just because of little changes like that. I mean, I don't remember the specific lore of the fucking Spartan soldiers, but like, I don't think that is the kind of thing. Like, I was going to mention the Avatar remake thing that they did on Netflix came out recently. I don't think any of us talked about it.
I never really cared about Avatar. Like, it's a fine series.
Neither.
I kind of was almost
at much of it.
Well, I was like just at the wrong age for it. I was out of the age group to really like it when it came out, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I watched some of it and then I just kind of fell off like later on, a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
But I saw some people talking about it and like that's one where I mean, like they change a thing with one of the characters where he has like this tragic backstory where I guess he fucks up really hard and he screws over a bunch of the men that he leads into battle or something. And I guess in the Netflix show, they change it so that the people that he is immediately commanding in the series are the same soldiers that he fucked up in his like tragic backstory. And I've seen a few people point out like that's a good change that they made that wasn't in the original, and like I was surprised when I went back and oh, that wasn't the way it originally went. That was a good
That's
change.
pretty interesting.
So it's stuff like that, like the Spartan 3, that's kind of what that sounds like, just sort of consolidate some of the plot points, and like
Yeah.
I get that.
And
But
that's
that's not
also
why people
yeah.
are mad. It's not because I can't be because of things like that.
Well, there is one thing why people are mad, and I'll explain why. Because people were saying like, oh, they're using because someone was talking about like, oh, you know, they were taking the Master Chief idea and trying to like make John beyond that. And what they mean is in the series, they're using a lot of propaganda posters around the Spartan 3s of Chief's image because they're saying he died on Reach, and they did take his armor before. That was kind of a weird explanation to kind of get around them not having armor.
Huh?
You would need to see it. I'm kind of explaining things poorly,
'Cause
but
I did see that post where,
Yeah.
well, not post, or it was like
Tweet.
some interview or something like that.
yeah,
Tweet, yeah, or that they wanted to like find the just like the separation between John and the Master Chief, and like
Yeah.
Master Chief isn't a fucking superhero.
but
There is no like
Yeah.
alter ego. He's not fucking putting on the mask and becoming Master Chief. That's his rank.
yeah, but effectively, I think what they meant to say there, and it makes sense in episode 7. The Spartan 3s are being trained around a lot of propaganda around Chief and saying like, you know, fight for him. He died on Reach, what have you. And inevitably, at the end of the episode, he comes out and shows people he's alive in the armor with his helmet off, and they're like, "Oh, so O&I has been lying to us the entire time."
I don't see how that's like
I
creating a separation between Master Chief
it's
and
more. Well, it's more. Again, it's a bad quote, but the tweet kind of misquoted it, but they were talking about that episode. I don't know. It's not. Again, it's not the worst. I have like some of the vitriol I've seen for it's kind of like, all right, that's absurd.
honestly, for me, it lost me when it called the biggest city on Reach City.
Yeah, that is kind of dumb, admittedly.
There's like a real fucking epidemic, I mean, with bad writing in a lot of these TV shows.
Yeah, I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
That's another thing with that Avatar show. Drew Gooden's video just came out talking about it, and like he shows this montage of scenes where it's literally just characters like Avatar.
Yeah.
Feel bad about this. It's like, wow. The standard has really fallen. Reach City. Huh.
I mean, that's pretty dumb, admittedly.
Unobtainium. Jesus.
Oh, wait till whenever we do COD Zombies finally, wait till we start talking about Element 115. Get ready for that buzzword. Which we that is one of the hyperfixations I want to do soon. We need to eventually play all the like World at War maps and talk about
Play
this.
every Call of Duty game. Oh boy.
Eventually, I'm gonna make you guys play every Call of Duty Zombies game.
Jesus Christ!
You're gonna make us, are you? All right. Well,
I'll be paying for them at some point because.
All right. Well, I expect a gun to be pointed at my head if you're gonna be making me do it. You might as well do it in fashion.
I mean, hey, I want to do a Kingdom Hearts one because you've been talking about it and it makes me want to play them.
I'm not participating in that. I fucking hate those games.
That's fair.
I would be willing to talk about. I don't know. It's like I'm almost done with the first one. I gotta say, I don't think I'm gonna even bother finishing it because you have to basically. There's a fight with Ansem,
Yeah.
and then I mean, I guess spoilers. They kind of lead up to it in the game. I guess that's technically a spoiler.
That sucks. I really hope you don't have any audio problems because I just realized I've been recording nothing.
Oh, hey, I haven't had any audio problems and you've been coming good so far. I've been looking at the
That's
label.
sick. I'm just gonna close Audacity. I don't.
Oh, that's AIDS. Yeah,
I'm mad. Oh boy.
Shit, brother.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I usually don't have to send in my audio. We really should start doing that, but then things like this happen, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't happen to me, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, there's been times where it's happened to me, and I'm just like, well, OBS is still recording. I'm not too worried.
True.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tristan. But it'll be
It'll be
alright.
fine.
Live technical issues, everybody. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
This podcast is not produced.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing.
We
We
literally do it live.
Absolutely no plan, and we're gonna go down in flames, people. It's
We
gonna be
are
great.
we're in contact. We're gonna probably soon going to be in contact with a legitimate businessman.
Oh,
And
yeah.
boy, I hope he doesn't fucking dip when he sees how little we know.
Yeah. Soon we're about to be professional broadcasters, folks. Yes.
Yes, loud equals funny trademark.
Yes. I got some stories I could rapid fire here if you want.
I also have 2 rapid fire stories.
Oh, I've got like
And that's-
6.
All right, I'll go ahead and get mine out of the
All
way.
right, you go.
What's the fastest amount of time? The quickest amount of time that you've ever seen it taken for a game to be cracked. Pretend I worded that better, by the way.
I've seen one cracked in like 2 days from like Denuvo.
2 days. All
2
right.
days,
All right.
Gluck?
I mean, like this before the game came out a couple times.
True. True. Let's go specifically after release.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, within the day, then.
All right.
Horizon Forbidden West was cracked 30 seconds after it released on Steam.
God damn.
30 fucking seconds.
They're giving these programmers crack cocaine now, aren't they?
Yes. That's how
Hell
they make
yeah.
the cracks.
God damn. I mean, hey, respect. 30 seconds. Did he have
Yeah.
Did he have a stopwatch? That's a real question.
I don't know. I think it was just like same minute.
That's fair. I fucking hope he had one of those running watches, had someone behind him, and go! Starts fucking typing
Yeah,
in.
he probably just like they probably just like put a Steamworks DRM patch onto it. Like they probably preloaded it and then put a Steamworks DRM patch in.
Yeah. All right, then your next one.
So we were talking about Boeing.
Oh, yes!
I'm not sure if it was last time or the time before, but
Dystopia.
the CEO is stepping down.
Yep. This is a good
And
news
he's gonna
moment.
and well, good news and a bit of bad news.
Yeah.
You know what they call like severance pay when it's a shit ton of money for like a CEO?
Yep.
Call it the golden parachute.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
good lord, that is just a funny coincidence in the midst of all this.
I didn't even
Parachutes
think
for the
about that.
CEO, but fuck you if you're a passenger.
Yeah. He's gonna run out that door plug that just got ripped out with your toddler. Jesus.
He doesn't even want the toddler. Like halfway down, he's just gonna look at the toddler. Wait, I don't need this. He's just gonna throw it away.
Like a football,
Oh.
yeah.
He's gonna use it as cushion for his fall.
Oh, fuck. I've got an interesting story about a 12-year-old. Are you ready?
Oh,
Oh boy.
the toddler gets tossed away and grows up somehow,
Yeah.
and this is what happens.
Why is the diddler trending? Hang on.
Oh God.
The diddler.
The diddler.
Is this a new character
Okay,
like the Unknown?
I hate this. I fucking hate this. When you look at like a trending thing on Twitter,
Oh, yep.
and most of the posts are, "Why is this trending?"
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah,
So
it's,
the diddler is trending on Twitter, and I don't know why.
it's sort of like when a game is trending, and it's just because some dipshit was like, "What are your favorite games?" Huh?"
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, why is Silent Hill 2 trending right now? Was release date now? Oh, it's just somebody tweeting about it.
Some fucking loser. God damn it.
But yeah,
12-year-old.
yeah.
Speaking of diddler,
Yes,
I hope
12-year-old
not.
gets hangover after being served alcohol at Michigan Outback Steakhouse.
I mean, hey, shit, if he can party,
Hell yeah. So
loud equals funny does not condone underage drinking.
yeah,
Whatever,
we
for
don't
legal
condone
reasons.
it despite how much we did it growing up, or despite how much I did it growing up.
I only underage drank once, and it was
Oh.
like half a bottle of wine.
Oh, I cannot say the same, brother. But yeah, a 12-year-old, his family ordered him a virgin strawberry daiquiri, but according to the preteen, the drink didn't taste normal, and after a few big swallows of it, he started getting a funny feeling, so his head started to hurt and his heart was racing. The family
Oh,
says they
boy.
immediately asked the server to confirm a mistake of the bartender, who did. They apologized and comped the bill. He was
Okay.
Yeah, he was given Tylenol, told to rest, and the family told Fox 2, they're on your side, that he did have his first hangover the very next day, which, hey, better to get it
Hell
out
yeah,
early.
brother.
That's to start him young, yeah.
Should have told him to drink some water.
I could-
Get some Pedialyte up in there.
Give him some bread. I think that works. And coffee.
Bread works too, yeah.
I was 6 years old the first time I tried alcohol.
Good lord.
Yeah, I had like a sip of my dad's. My dad wasn't much of a drinker or a fiend, but he did let me try a beer that he had once, and it was not pleasant. I think I tried some wine at one point too, and I was like, my mom was drinking wine in a pool. I just remember spitting the wine out in the pool and it kind of ruining the pool. It was a good time.
Nice.
So yeah, the story behind me getting drunk at a very young age was, I have to preface this with, I grew up around a lot of white trash.
Oh.
Yes.
You're almost right near Skibbity, Ohio, so that makes sense.
I'm so close. I'm so close to Skibbity, Ohio. But yeah, no, it was it was a New Year's Eve party, and my cousin, who she's a piece of shit, and she's like 20 years older than me. She was playing quarters and decided to get me at the age of 6 to play quarters with her, and got me drunk. So I woke up with the first hangover at the age of 6.
That's pretty fucked, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said,
you shouldn't do that to kids.
Yeah, like I said, it may explain a lot about me, if I'm being honest.
Hot take in the loud equals funny zone. I don't think you should let kids drink.
No. It is not a cool act to do.
I feel like that's bad.
It is. I'm trying to find. I had another. Well, I guess I have another story about minors here, technically.
Let me just say shout outs to not buying games, because fucking Marvel's Midnight Suns is apparently on PS Plus now.
Oh yeah.
I was always teetering on the edge of, that game looks cool, I should maybe buy it and support the developers. Fuck that!
I got it super cheap. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It also was in the Humble monthly thing. It was like a month or two ago.
It's been on a lot of deals. I hear it's pretty good, but I guess it didn't sell much. I don't know.
But
Minor Story, another one.
This is a very minor-centric episode.
This really is. I might title it Minor-Centric. Now, this one does not have this guy's name because he's not been charged of a crime, and the Durham Post does not give it, apparently. But, headline here, community worried over feces eater asking for minor contacts. A man has been reportedly approaching women on social media, asking them to sell them their feces, also human waste from their younger sisters.
Where is this?
It doesn't exactly... I'll link the post. Yeah, the website is Durham Post. It's a place in Ontario.
In Canada?
In Canada, yeah. I've got a few Canadian stories. I decided to try to make sure Across the Pond got some love. Across the Pond, god damn it!
Oh, say can you see?
Yes.
That's ours, right? That's our one. I think that's our anthem. I'm not sure.
It's ours, but
no.
Yours is in Canada.
Yeah.
So real quick. So
that is yours. Yeah, that is yours. Okay.
I found out why the diddler is trending. P Diddy's house got raided.
Oh shit!
Oh, is he calling himself the diddler now? That's not good.
No. See, he fled the country.
Oh.
And he fled the country because he's being invaded. Invaded? What?
Raided?
Huh? My fucking brain not working. Invaded. He's getting investigated for sex trafficking. So that's why the diddler is trending.
Oh, but yeah, I mean,
that's rough.
That is an unfortunate name to have, but that is a good name for someone who's done that. Yes, and well, yeah.
Wow.
The great thing about about calling him the Diddler in that scenario is that he did call himself like every variation of P. Diddy,
Yeah,
P. Diddles,
Puff
whatever.
Daddy.
So Puff Daddy. So now he's P. Diddler. He's the Diddler.
I mean, look, him, Roman Polanski.
Allegedly.
It's always the smart and innocent thing to do to flee the country. Him, Roman Polanski. I think Victor Salva's living in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, no innocent man ever flees the country. O.J. Simpson,
Exactly.
Right.
I mean,
Ralph.
look,
Ethan Ralph.
Ethan. Ethan.
Yeah. Game dude.
Oh.
Alexander 1488.
Oh man, they bothered Wario so hard, dude.
Also
he's never gonna let him forget it.
Now that I realize we haven't talked about the stone toss thing, now that we brought up Game Dude, there's a reason that I'm bringing him up in connection to Game Dude. So stone toss.
There was somebody in my chat today who thought.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out that person was.
For some reason, they were of the opinion that I'm like a stone toss fan. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Never been made.
I don't know where that was happening, and I was just like watching some loser or something, and someone was like talking about fucking stone toss, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Yeah, I guess he shouldn't have been doxxed. I don't fucking know what happened.
I mean, yeah.
Give a shit.
Stone toss shouldn't have been doxxed. I will say that. But he's also like a weirdo piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've not heard good things about him. I don't know.
It is funny that he kind of looks like Dan Schneider.
Yeah, he
does. He is apparently a fat Mexican, which makes a lot of his like comments about race kind of funny.
He's a white Latino named Hans.
Let's not say any of the other details.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything past that, but it's also like you can find it if you it's Know Your Meme has a whole fucking article about it with his name and face. But
yeah, did you know that Elon Musk changed the Twitter rules on doxing specifically because of Stone Toss getting doxed?
Yeah,
which I think is really funny because a lot of people have been getting doxed recently, and he hasn't done shit about that. And some of those posts are still up.
Yeah,
thanks, Elon.
There's accounts with like whole addresses and everything. Like,
yep.
As their usernames and shit.
He's really clearly a, he's doing this for he's a right winger guy now, I guess, or he's like pandering to that. Do we believe Elon believes this stuff?
I think he likes.
He probably believes a good. He believes a good amount of it, I would think, but the stuff he doesn't believe, he says for attention.
I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of attention involved, at least.
There's also again, some of the tweets about like some of his own tweets, like this one's here with a photo of him, but it also paints a picture of this tweet being hilarious. Attention, if you're a single white woman living in Japan, I know an 8.5 out of 10 tall white man employed as a programmer in the US who is currently open, but probably only briefly so. Hit the DMs for details, which...
Oh boy. He kind of looks like Peter Griffin and Dan Schneider together.
I want you to...
Lois. Remember that time I was doxxed online for my right-wing comics?
I want you to mentally, green text as I say this, but... White?
Yeah.
Let's be real here, Chief.
I'm just amazed that it turns out he isn't Schmarky.
Oh, yeah, and also...
everybody thought his art looks a lot like Schmarky's weird little fucking... What are they called again? He had a name for his little creatures.
I can never remember. I mentally try to,
His art is very similar, though.
Honestly, I'm surprised that he just isn't the funny little Amogus.
Oh, yeah, also, he was probably involved with
God
Gamergate.
Giveth, Tristan.
He was?
Wait, who? What?
There's also a possibility Stone Toss was involved with Gamergate, because there's apparently an event where, apparently he was, this one may or may not be real, but an enormous bald man named Hans, an 8-channer who'd flown from Texas. Some dots are connected there where it's like, that's interesting. He also tweets
I think I see him there in the back.
I mean,
there's Hot Wheels. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there he is. There's one token girl. Is that Cisco from fucking
there's two.
The Flash? Okay, there is two.
Yeah.
They're both goth.
I mean, that was all. I mean,
That's kind of real.
That was-
to be honest.
you know how like I could have. I fumbled so many bags. Is all I'm gonna say, man. I fumbled so many bags. Like if I could travel back in time, man.
If I could turn back time, yeah, I mean, it would all be different. But
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he would be involved in Gamergate. I mean, it seems like a thing that Stone Toss would be, drawn to in some fashion. Yeah.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
I can't find it anymore. I'm desperately trying to find it. But he also had posts on like forums about trying to get his like foreskin back. He's one of those guys.
The TLC Tugger,
Oh,
baby.
He's
got to put the Tugger XL on.
like,
Love it.
I could never like I don't. It's so baffling being one of those guys.
I wonder if he jelks.
He probably he might. I mean, again, this is the guy calling
I
himself.
can't think of the
Yeah, go on.
I can't think of the jelking thing without thinking of those Dr. Scholl's gelin commercials. You jelking, bro? I'm jelking.
Ah,
Yeah.
jelking
I'm
all over
jelking.
the street.
I jelk all day, every day, boy. I got weights on my shit.
I jelk in the
I'm
subway. I
jelking
jelk in
left
the
and
house.
right.
I jelk on the
Oh
plane.
boy. I'm jelking in the church, in the car,
Oh god,
at
not
the
the
supermarket.
I'm busting everywhere.
Can't wait for the Trevor Moore hit album. I'm joking in church.
By the way,
Yeah.
unrelated,
Rest in
but
peace.
this is a recent thing. There is a new South Park game.
Oh yeah.
I pointed out on stream that it looks like hot shit. It looks like a South Park game from like 1999. I mean, not visually,
Yeah.
but like it looks like that era of South Park game where it was.
Oh, like the
Yeah.
N64 game?
Oh god,
Yeah,
it's 3D, yeah.
Yeah, it's like ugly 3D. There's no stylization to it at all. The reviews have come out on like IGN at least is giving it like a 3 out of 10.
3? Oh,
I haven't seen
don't-
anything
It's
about
apparently-
this.
It's apparently pretty bad. I saw a trailer in like I think it was on a Nintendo Direct or something,
I remember
and I
seeing
was
the
like,
trailer.
they're actually
That's kinda
making
funny.
this.
The thing is, like, if it was a free-to-play game, I feel like it'd be fine.
It's
How
like
much
a
of
budget,
charge?
quote unquote budget game. It's $30 Canadian on PS5. So
You
like
think it'd be
what,
cheaper
20
to make it look like the show?
Okay, I'm looking at OpenCritic. It's got a 63 there, and
Eh.
I'm gonna see its highest review. Trying to look for a news a place I would actually like trust a review from because there's some 8s. Okay, Push Square has a 6.
I mean, IGN gave it a 3, but that is IGN.
It is IGN. Nintendo Life gave it a 4. IGN gave it a 3. The lowest one is Digital Trends with a 1.5 stars.
Supposedly this is a game from the same studio that brought you Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole. But Stick of Truth was by fucking Obsidian, so I don't think that's true.
I think probably they mean like, what they probably mean is
Part of the same studio.
Okay, South Park Digital Studios. I think that's what they mean. They mean that
Yeah.
it means the guys behind South Park are kind of involved.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
This was
I'm not
developed by
convinced.
Question LLC. I'm gonna look what they've done.
That's a very questionable name.
I mean, it's a great LLC name.
It is.
Not quite as good as Loud Equals Funny LLC though.
Exactly. Not as good.
We've got the market cornered, man.
They've never made anything I've heard of.
Yo, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm just on my PS5. They've got Roblox on the PS5. I had no
Yeah.
idea. That's
Yeah.
insane.
I think they got Roblox on the Switch too.
Oh, that's nightmarish.
Yeah.
They're exploiting the children on every platform. The children.
They just recently added a like adult focused horror game for Roblox.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Chucky thing. right?
Yeah, I was almost interested just because I like the Chucky stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like downloading Roblox at my age should put me on a watch list, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like if I download that at 28, I feel like the Fed should bust in my house and shoot me.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Fortnite. You're already. I think Fortnite is the watch list.
Yeah, but Fortnite's
Roblox
pushing
is,
it.
Roblox is FBI open up.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, no. Even Fall Guys is kind of pushing it, but Fall Guys is fun. I like Fall Guys. Not
I
the
haven't played any
worst.
Fall Guys.
It's
It looks like
basically,
a game I'd like, but I hear it's like really unbalanced. But that was a while ago.
yeah, it's improved, and plus, I think they're also putting it into Fortnite in a way. I just saw something about that. I need to look into this. I think it's also
There's a
coming to
fucking
Fortnite.
there's a version of Fall Guys in FF7 Rebirth. It's wild.
Oh yeah.
Does it still have the little retard beans?
No, it's
No, it has frogs
yeah.
in Rebirth.
Okay,
Damn.
yeah, Fortnite and Fall Guys. Okay, and it will still support the main game despite its assets and characters coming to Fortnite. Okay, that's good at least. Man, I don't know. I don't know. Games are getting interesting in ways. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, South Park Snow Day. I'm looking at trailers of this, and it does not look good.
Yeah,
No.
I like nothing that I'm seeing.
And the thing is, like, the idea is at least a little interesting. It's just, it's
It
all
looks
over the
awful.
place. Yeah,
It just looks awful. It looks like a phone game. It looks very it's completely unstylized. It's like one of those early PS2, licensed
Yeah, it's like if you AI
Fairly
ups.
Odd Parents games or something.
Yeah, it's like if you AI upscaled the N64 game.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although that was first person, but you still
Well,
had the
yeah,
models and stuff.
the graphical style.
Yeah, it's not good. It's or the like go-karting game or something. Yeah.
yeah. I've got, I got another kid's story here.
Oh no.
Did we talk?
Minor-Centric.
Did we talk
It
about?
really is.
Did we talk about last episode the kids who robbed the bank?
Yeah,
No.
did we? No, we
I don't think we
didn't.
did.
Right.
Okay, so about a couple weeks ago, there was a whole bunch of footage of these three kids, robbing a bank.
I hope they got away with it.
I
What do you
got
mean
sad
by
news.
kids? Teens or like
Well, okay, these initial reports suggest them to be around 14 to 18. The boys who were arrested, take a guess on the ages of all three of them.
I'd say like the 12 ballpark.
Huh?
16, 14, 12?
Okay, 11, 12, and 16.
One
Ugh.
16-year-old. Huh.
Yeah, which honestly, in my belief,
Is that one like the big brother of one of them or something?
I think it might be. They haven't, now that all of them are arrested, they're waiting until they go into trial to reveal their names and shit.
What exactly
Mhm.
happened in this bank robbery? Was it violent?
They passed the teller a note. The boys were thought to be armed, but didn't show a weapon, and they got the money.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Eventually, the secret did get out that you basically, like, you don't have to. I mean, I don't know if you can even say it. I think it's fine to say this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't have to, like, hold up a bank with a gun or anything. You literally just have to give them a note. You're still a criminal,
Yeah.
and they will still catch you, as they, I guess, did with these boys.
But
Yeah, you don't need to like be a fucking movie supervillain. You can literally just go in there and give them a note, and that will make you a criminal. But it will also get you the money.
Yeah.
I guess.
and hey, if you're smart, you have everything set up to where you don't even have to say a word. Don't look at a camera. I'm not encouraging anything. I'm just saying.
No, I would never. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do
realistically,
it, do it in a cool way.
somebody's money is probably getting fucked with there in some fashion. I mean, I assume.
And
No, I
banks
think
are
that is
insured.
victimless. Yeah, the money is any
FDIC.
any human's money is safe in there, so it is really just the parasitic slugs. But I would never suggest
We'll
it.
never condone. Well, we'll never say to do it. But I will
Yeah,
say this:
never.
these kids should totally be let out for free. These kids didn't they didn't hurt nobody. Look, I'm just saying, morally, What this kid did was
They
bad.
didn't really. Well,
But
morally was it though? I mean, like if you really want to
morally
say morally,
not. But I mean, legal. I guess
morally,
I'll say legally.
there's like legally, and I guess ethically, I'd say maybe ethically it's bad. I guess. I'm struggling to find a real victim here other than these fucking kids at this point
It's
in
like,
time.
look,
I mean,
at least these kids, like, they're, you know what? They didn't hurt a single person in doing this. They handed a lady a note, got money, went away. If they had worn masks, fuck, they probably, I don't know if they wore masks or not, but if, like...
I don't think they did. I didn't see anything in the picture.
People were saying that they thought these kids were 14 and 18. They turned out to be 11 and 12. Could you imagine at, like, 12 years old being ballsy enough to do this? Because I was not at 12. Like, my 12? Couldn't have done that.
no, probably not.
These kids have gumption. I respect it. They were nicknamed the Little Rascals, which, yeah, fuck it, they're Little Rascals.
I like that.
Well, I mean, like, you know, if you're a little kid, I mean, say what you will, right? Okay, legally, bad. They shouldn't have done it. They should be legally punished for this. However, morally, I mean, I'm looking at this as three kids that basically were like, we found a get-rich-quick scheme where no one will get hurt and we will get money. And that's just ingenuity. These kids could become, like, engineers or fucking... like business leaders or something. I don't know.
They can make a plan. I mean,
exactly.
You know, who's like you see a 12-year-old. You're not gonna shoot a 12-year-old. You'll look like a piece of shit shooting a 12-year-old. It's exactly why
it doesn't stop some cops.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think these kids should be free. They did nothing wrong. Or at the very least, like if you're gonna charge them anything, give them a slap on the wrist. They're young. Like,
yeah, just take the money. Maybe let them keep $5. You know,
give them $100 each for being ballsy enough to do it.
For being just so damn cool.
Yeah, it's baller. I respect it.
Yeah, I can't find it in me to be upset about it. I mean, I wonder what the argument. I mean, it's an entry level into worse things. Maybe would be like an argument. I don't know.
I mean,
But
at this stage, they're gonna spend that money on like buying the latest
PS5.
Like, buying PS5 and like the latest NBA game or like COD or Grand Theft Auto. Like
they're not gonna be. I mean, I don't know. I can see why. Obviously, you don't want your children to see this and do this, but like for this case, yeah, I don't know. I'm with the kids.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, don't do it, but
yeah,
don't punish them too harshly. Don't give these kids like 40 years or some shit. It's
like don't ruin their lives for this. Let them live.
Yeah, they're just being haha funny.
Exactly.
It was a silly joke.
I've got some other quick stories. I'm trimming some, but I just as I'm reading them, I'm like, I don't want to cover that. That sounds dumb. I got a man who's going to serve 6 months in prison for asking women to hit him in the balls for $100.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the goat. They're gonna lock him away. I can't fucking believe it.
This guy was like a janitor in like a hotel. It seemed. I had to translate this from French, so I'm.
This guy also Canadian.
This is a French Canadian story. Yeah, this guy was.
Imagine you go into a hotel and the man's just the janitor. He's just mopping the floors. He sees you walk by. He looks up. He says, "Hey, can you kick me in the balls, please?"
He's offering you $100.
Probably not a high-end hotel.
I wonder how much money he has to offer people $100 just to kick him in the balls.
I mean, well, also, it's not just to kick him in the balls. You got to kick for 30 minutes.
Oh, good lord! All right.
I mean, that's a little.
I don't understand how you do not wind up with just paste at that point.
Yeah,
what is that?
You've got to break something at that point.
Cock and ball torture from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia at en.wikipedia.org. Cock and ball torture, CBT, is a sexual activity involving torture of the male genitals. This may involve directly painful activities such as wax play. I'm not going to continue this.
Yeah. Respect. You got more than I would. Also, this is just a headline I saw on the side. I'm not going to look deeper into this. More and more cats and dogs are taking antidepressants. I'm not reading past that.
Welcome
so
to
real for that.
2024, dystopia.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take one of my anxieties right now.
I feel it, Rover. I feel it.
Yeah.
I've got
Aren't we
some.
fucking all?
I've got some amputations. I got 3 technical
Hell yeah.
amputation stories.
Oh yeah, you love to see it.
I got hand, legs, and then leprosy.
Oh.
So apparently, and this is something I didn't know that could happen. So this woman here, Mary Wilson, was getting ready to dry her hair on February 7th when she went unconscious. And then apparently, as she laid unconscious, the hot air from a blow dryer scorched her hand and gave her severe nerve damage. And then, yeah, had to get it removed. Which, I did not know the hair dryers didn't just like shut off.
Yeah, hair dryers can be rough.
I didn't realize that was a thing, that it would just not shut off when it got hot.
Yeah, it might have been an older hair dryer, because I do know that, because I have one that I use to dry my hair every so often, because honestly, fuck having long hair that's wet. I hate it so much. I'm getting mine cut like within the next month.
I'm getting mine cut Thursday, because I'm getting a bonus, and I'm like, hey, sweet, I can use money I'm not saving for shit to cut my hair.
Hell yeah. But like that one doesn't get hot for diddly fucking dick.
Oh yeah, the one that I have, which was like a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down, like it only blows cold air now.
Yeah.
Like even on like I could dip
meanwhile, I'm just using a fucking stand fan, like a fucking animal.
Hey, as long as that, you know what, you get one of those Dyson ones that just like looks like a blow
No,
dryer.
it's a shitty one.
That's fair. But yeah,
I probably would do that if it wasn't for the fact that my fucking hair like drapes down onto my shirt and shit.
Oh yeah.
And oh god, I just hate having like a wet collar. It's the worst. It's like almost as bad as wet socks.
That's why I can like barely manage to do dishes, and I hate it because I always because of my arm, I always wind up just getting wet everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you could interesting idea for a future attachment, like one of those bottle brushes. But designed different, kind of like a squeegee bottle brush in a way. Yeah, I mean,
but with basketballs as testicles.
I mean, that was that was for fun. Okay,
right. Okay.
And if anything, I would do tennis balls for that. You'd have to make it like size appropriate.
Hey.
Well, no, for
like little balls of steel wool.
Ooh, actually,
that one would be good. That would be good. Can I have disco balls? Actually, that'd be great.
I mean, we could put a disco ball in the room.
Well, that's just a whole different thing now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that just makes it a fun kitchen. Honestly, for your next live stream in the kitchen, you should get a disco ball just as your lighting.
I would like to figure that out. That would be great.
I mean, okay, so I guess I'll talk about this because I'm planning on coming up in July.
Yeah, we're gonna have loud equals together, me and Bane. And unfortunately, Tristan probably won't be there, but Bane and Tristan will have their own future adventures.
Well, I ain't got no fucking money to go up there yet.
What we'll do is when we record, I'll just like we'll do the episode as normal, but I'll call you on my phone and just have the phone audio there in the middle.
Oh, great! That'll be really professional.
Yeah, that works perfect.
It would make a funny episode. It doesn't have to be professional.
It'll be like the. I remember you made I think it was you made a chat on the Discord for like Xbox Live chat.
Yeah. I think I
put it to the lowest fucking quality possible.
It literally sounds. We could do. Okay, hang on. April 1st is coming up soon. We might. Do we want to?
Yeah, we
straight up record an episode like that.
We could do Halo Night on April 1st and do, well, now we're just giving too much away. I guess it won't come out until after, but, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, Halo Night on the 1st would be a Monday.
Actually, yeah, you know what? It would be a Monday if we recorded this on, if we recorded Funny April Fools on the 1st.
Well, we'd have to, we recorded before the 1st to put it up on the 1st.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So we'd have to record that.
I mean, I'd be down to record. You know what? You know what you could do?
Yeah.
Just put it up. Don't edit it at all.
Oh,
edited
I'm
in
down for
like
that. That sounds wonderful.
exported in like just put the fucking
Just put it up.
the thumbnail on there, and then just like export it at like 480p.
Oh, I could do that. Like, no. Let me see if the lowest I can get with Vegas is. Also, real quick, I'll link you a story to read, Tristan.
Oh boy.
If I can find it. What's that? Yeah, here we go. And forum post. All right, there you go. While I check what Vegas will let me do here.
Oh, this is 9/11 for me. It's over, boys. Alzheimer's disease may be caused by frequent nose picking.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I'm cooked. I'm fucking cooked.
How does that even correlate? That sounds like such bullshit science. Whoever made this article is a scam.
It kind of feels like that, but then I got another one which, hey, for future
It's like
sponsors.
one of those fucking. This is like one of those fucking coffee creamer causes diabetes things, or like butter causes AIDS or whatever.
Okay, all right. It's because sometimes it results in like bacteria and shit going up into your nasal cavity.
Okay.
Which
okay.
that
makes
makes
sense.
sense. Yeah. Just gotta wash your hands.
Customized.
I guess.
I'm trying to see how low I can get this to go.
Kind of sounds like you got other problems at that point, though.
320 by 320 by 240. 320 by
Oh, I
240.
can get it worse than that. I can do like 144p or something. That's what I did for the ice level video.
Oh yeah. I'll fuck with that by the time we do that episode.
All right.
We'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
just make sure you put the thumbnail up in like full resolution.
Oh yeah, put a high quality. I'll have to get it like standard like 1080p resolution one. Just make it look nice, and then I'll bit crushed afterwards when it fucking loads up. Yeah, so there's that.
You know what? I'll make the thumbnail in pixel art.
So
oh great.
So yeah, the Alzheimer's one there. But there is something interesting here. Viagra linked to 50% reduction of Alzheimer's risks in new studies. So hopefully future sponsors may be saving your life, folks. Saving your life.
Yeah, Viagra, get in touch.
Well, Blue Chew. Our number is very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Call it up. And God, there's also that, and then I've got new HIV cases linked to shuttered New Mexico salon that offered quote-unquote vampire facials.
How many more do you have after this one?
I can trim it down pretty fast.
All right, because I just got weirdly dizzy all of a sudden.
Be careful, brother. Here, I'll knock out... they offered Botox injections and vampire facials, which drew blood from elsewhere in the body to put it elsewhere in the body.
Kristen, maybe you need a vampire facial.
Yeah, you might.
I don't want to get HIV. No, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well, you could become a vampire.
Now, see, are you ready for the best way to make money? This is going to be amputation lark. I kind of pivoted for
better than all of the other ways involving AI.
Is it going to be cutting off my legs?
This might be better in a way. Claw.
All right.
A Taiwanese university student had his legs amputated in the hopes of winning a $1.3 million insurance claim. Has been arrested on suspicion of fraud.
Damn. Give him his damn money.
Yeah. The 23-year-old who's only listed here as his last name Zhang, is forced himself to have a double amputation after he put his feet in a bucket of dry ice for more than 10 hours, which caused frostbite. They added that a guy named Liao, a friend of Zhang from high school, influenced him to carry out the scam. The investigators said that Liao had lost money on cryptocurrency and had misled Zhang into signing a legal document obliging Zhang to pay almost $800,000. He also had told him that some gangsters were after him.
Yeah, this sounds like a movie I saw once. The guy got fucked.
So effectively, he decided to put a statement out which claimed that he got frostbite while riding on a motorcycle that his friend was driving in Taipei. And that was a few days before he got his legs amputated. Effectively, what they did was pushed that out, went soaked his feet in dry ice. The medical personnel immediately were like, these are suspicious. Because there were, like, the thing is, you gotta think, when you have frostbite from being on a motorcycle, they wouldn't be perfect injuries, right? And you'd have marks from the socks being on there.
You wouldn't have, like, the very perfect, like, mark of exactly where you stop dipping the leg in water.
Yep.
Or dry ice or whatever.
They said the injuries were neat and symmetrical, which, yeah.
That don't happen.
Yeah.
That don't happen usually.
It doesn't happen naturally there.
Why don't they just say they had an accident involving dry ice? I'm sure someone would believe it.
It was a... Oh my god. See, here's the problem. Saying this out loud means we can never do this. It was just a YouTube prank, bro. It went fucking wrong. It went incredibly wrong.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, I totally had one. I had both arms before, and then there was a YouTube prank. I put it in a microwave. Just didn't work out properly, you know?
Effective. See, here's the problem. You could have done that scam if you had never been on camera, and we could have just green screened a fake arm the entire... Oh my god. Oh, that could have been perfect.
Well, we could invent a new YouTuber who does that with their leg or something. It's fine.
Exactly.
Listen, guys, I might be an amputee, but I'm willing to do it. It's fine.
Hey, I mean...
allegedly, we would never do it.
Yeah,
we would never do it.
No,
we've now talked about it on now, so we've talked. Yeah. Can't happen.
Yeah, can't hire kids to rob a bank.
So we're gonna
what?
we can't hire them. We can't also hire the kids to cut off their legs, and you know, it's not the whole plan is fraught with danger.
Yeah. He tried. All these plans are just great ideas that we never would do. Never do we do it all at all, you know.
No, but if you see any other conniving malice plans like that, then you know where they come from.
Yeah. Speaking of weird plans and interesting things, I don't know where I was going from this, but Maryland U.S. Rep. David Thorne apologizes for using racial slur hearing, says it was inadvertent.
Okay. I got to be honest.
Okay, admittedly...
I'm pretty sure I haven't inadvertently used a racial slur before, I gotta say.
I've come close!
Oh, no, I have, for Asian people.
We know someone who has, though.
I have for Asian people, really? It was like, oh, yeah, somebody on stream corrected me, I was like, I did not know that was a slur against Asians.
Wait, what was it? Was it Sink?
No, it was, about the Mongol people... And Lloyd's.
Oh, that's not.
I thought that just meant
retarded. But here's the problem. I used it against Rice Gum, who was an Asian man, and I did not know. So I was
bad optics. Yeah. It's the bad optics.
Yeah,
it's in bad faith.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I didn't realize that was
that's very rough.
It turns out the slur they used, and I'm not going to repeat it, so I'll just paste it here. Well, I didn't even paste it. Hold on here. There we go. It's that, which is a term.
Oh, that's a good slur.
That is.
I'm pretty sure that's like a Final Fantasy enemy. Actually, I think there might be, maybe not Final Fantasy, but that's like the name of a fantasy beast. I think it's like.
I feel like it is.
It's sort of like an orc, or no? I think I might be thinking of bugbear. It's similar to the word bugbear. That's all we'll say.
Well, see, here's the other problem. He's also running against a woman who.
Wait a second! No, I remember. They used that word in the Canadian TV show Corner Gas. Okay.
Well, okay, in Canada, that doesn't really have. I mean, it might still have that same.
They don't have black people in Canada, but they didn't have any in the show Corner Gas. To be fair, but they use that. There's a scene where a lady says something about like. We called them bugaboos. Oh, well, I just said it. But they did.
Well, okay, yeah, but you're a leaf. That's fine.
They said that's what they called it in the show, and it was in relation to like making a mistake or chess or something. It was like, oop, you made a little oopsie poopsie. You made a little bugbear. Oops.
Yeah. Well, see, this also it is a little weird because he's running against a woman who is aiming to become the state's first black senator.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's also
that's a very. I mean, I wouldn't have known. That's such a weird word.
Yeah, it is one of those ones.
A strange one to pull from.
It also feels more like a localish term because, like, I don't feel like I'd ever hear that word around here, but
No.
I've only got a couple more really that I'm gonna knock out here. Florida has so there's a lot of cases of leprosy in the world, right? About 200,000, but in America there's only been about 159 since 2020, and it seems 81 of those has been from Florida. So effectively, Florida has leprosy.
I've been to Florida. That tracks.
Yeah, like anywhere outside of Miami-Dade, it's like I could see that.
Yeah.
I'd love to go
I
back to
mean-
Miami. It's fun, but
I remember all of the shit about what do you call it? It was the bath salts, the face melting, face eating bath
Yeah,
salt
yeah.
zombies.
Yeah.
So this just seems like it's an offshoot of that.
it feels like it. I don't know. Florida's a hellscape, and I don't know. I don't recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, apparently boomers are getting tired of it and they're moving to Appalachia, which sucks for me.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the drought of people you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully I'm kind of outskirts of Appalachia, so, you know, I should be fine.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I hope so. I deal with enough boomers already.
Get ready for the invasion of the boomers.
Please, no. Please send them all to Georgia or something.
That's kind of all I got. Do you guys got anything else?
I had a really weak burp.
That's fair.
Today, the 25th is Patrick Troughton's birthday.
Oh, happy
That's
birthday.
All right. Happy birthday.
It was like a 20-year anniversary for some game I remember loving, but I can't remember it off the top of my head now.
2004, early 2004.
I also know
Resident Evil's 30th anniversary
Oh,
was
yeah.
no, not the 30th anniversary, the 28th anniversary.
there
Sorry.
was something's 30th anniversary. Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls. There hasn't been a game since the 17th anniversary.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls 1 is pretty damn old. I wonder how that source port's have going along. Let me check it real quick.
I mean, I wonder if they did anything for Elder Scrolls Online, but I couldn't
There is a
imagine.
new thing I think called like Gold Road or something. I don't know.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm looking here. They did say something. Trying to find out here. Last but not least, we are in development of the next chapter, Elder Scrolls 6. Even now, return to Tamriel and playing early builds has filled us with the same joy, excitement, and promise of adventure. So that's all we got.
Okay, so
Yes.
the arena source port is currently running at 2 frames per second.
Hey, it's
Hopefully that improves soon.
2 more
Hey, it
frames than
could be
0.
one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They actually did post a comparison where the first image was it running at 1 frame a second.
Yeah.
To be fair though, that's only a small increase from the actual game itself.
I mean, hey, and gonna be a whole lot on source port. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it'll be nice for people to actually play that, you know, in a way that's not insane.
Yeah,
I mean, you play those ones, and they're not even as bad as like Ultima Underworld or Ultima 7 or whatever. I think it was Ultima Underworld was the one that was like first person, and you have to click buttons to move and turn.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's the thing though, because Arena does have keyboard controls. It's just you have to use the fucking arrow keys, and you can't remap controls at all. So you're fucked.
Oh, that's awful. Why would they do
it's
that
great.
shit?
They thankfully they learned their lesson with Daggerfall.
Man.
You can actually have Daggerfall controlled sensibly, which is crazy.
Shit.
Yeah,
Mouse look, WASD, and everything.
I think we talked about it a little while ago when it happened, but Daggerfall Unity is like fully out, I guess, and that's
Yeah.
cool. People should play it.
Oh, man.
It's very nice.
So, is that it, boys?
I think that's it. Other than
I don't think I got too much else myself.
the only thing I'll say is there was a supposed tease at PAX East about a Final Fantasy IX remake, which I am fucking here for.
Yeah, I always
Ooh.
preferred 9 to 7.
Yeah, I'm glad they're skipping a right along over 8.
I mean,
Fuck 8.
I mean,
Spoony's right on
It's
this
not,
one.
I mean,
it's not that bad, but it's like
I
it's
would
just funny.
I would give anything for a remake of 8 also.
Yeah,
As
I
long as they
mean,
made it decent, yeah.
Yeah.
if they 8 deserves honestly, 8's the one they should remake because
Yeah, bad
7 and
games
9
really
are
deserve.
great.
8's got the best, like, the most interesting story to me.
It's got a lot
that's
of
fair.
it's got a lot of promise, but they kind of weirdly fumbled it in a lot of areas, gameplay and story apparently too.
Also, yeah, I
Uh,
am more down for the remake bad games instead of remake good games to fix them.
Yeah, like everyone's saying that Devil May Cry 1 is probably going to be remade soon because some
Like,
shit with Capcom. I don't know. I think it was a leak.
I
But
prefer
honestly,
2.
they got to remake Devil May Cry 2
Yeah, because, like,
well, yeah,
because that's a shitty
DMC2.
game for shitty people.
You can remake that game and make it like DMC2 Kiwami.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like,
You
Lucia
know,
is
and
interesting. She's just
Yeah.
trapped in a bad game.
Yeah. She
she's
got the gift
interesting.
campaign.
And you don't need to have it all be gun combat, like the shitty combat, and that's not essential. You can make a reason why Dante's edgy and dour,
Yeah.
you
Well, that's the
know.
thing. You could even
And
like
then
slightly rewrite it so that you can like you maybe just add. All you have to do is just add like a line of dialogue. Dante's like, "Yeah, man, I just kind of killed like the reincarnation demon thing of my brother. I'm kind of, not really feeling that good. I'm a little angry."
well, remind me, that's after 5, right?
No,
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 it's
no.
after-
It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, and 5.
So there's just a weird part there. I thought it was like this. Okay, there's just a weird part there, I guess, where he becomes like edgy for a while, and then he comes back and he becomes
Yeah,
crazy again.
we could
Yeah.
probably get into this more with like a Devil May Cry hyperfixation, but I think
Honestly,
the reason that
I'm
he
down for
stopped
that, too.
being like, excuse me,
You're good.
all fucking like depressed and sad and emotional and shit is because he found out, oh shit, I have a little fucking nephew. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that'll do it to you.
We would also have to talk about the attempted reboot.
I mean, I talked about it on stream
Mm.
recently because, like, it's just so funny to me the way that is. I was reminded of that with some of the like Gamergate 2 bullshit where you look at these articles and it reminded me of the weird like concerted effort to lie that
Yeah,
the
the
people were just
revisionist history.
mad about the hair. Oh, they changed the hair. Gamers just hate the hair. It's like there were a lot of real reasons. I don't know if they were just literally being paid by Capcom or what was going on.
Yeah,
But
like there are plenty of reasons to hate DMC Devil May Cry. The really
they fixed
weird,
it.
awkward tone,
The fact
the
that this
30 FPS
yeah.
cap, the color coded enemies, the shitty level design, the
And,
shitty
and
dialogue.
they
They had
fixed
cool
it.
level ideas.
They
Yeah.
removed Virgil's fedora in later versions.
Yeah, Virgil
Yeah.
had a fedora. You can accidentally fucking launch yourself off of some of the stages because there's no like invisible walls, which is crucial in a fucking character action game. Your ranking is based on how much damage you do instead of how like stylish you are, so you can rarely get good fucking stylish ratings.
Yeah.
It is a rough game, and sure, like the definitive edition or whatever fixes some of that, but it doesn't fix all of it.
I mean,
Yeah, there is like 60 FPS, but you do still have to do that stupid fucking color-coded weapon switching shit, and it just gets a little tiring.
Yeah.
I will say this: it gave us a Virgil playstyle that ended up coming into 5, which I like Virgil.
Kinda. Five Virgil had a little bit more 4 in him than he did DMC.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some good moves brought
I'll
over. Sure.
still never forget when they announced DMC5, and I was like upset because I was like, no, it looks like it's gonna be a sequel to that one. What is this?
Yeah, same.
Then I like, oh wait, no, it just kind of the engine looks a little similar. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I saw Nero and I was like, is that remake Dante, but they made his hair white?
I mean,
But
yeah,
no, it was
looking at
Nero.
He does kind of
Nero just
look.
got a haircut.
But yeah, I mean, plus we got some amazing character models out of that fucking game.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess really what we're saying is go buy Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah. Also the trilogy if you
Yeah,
want to.
fuck it.
Also 4 special edition.
Honestly, I mean, if you can get DMC on sale, get that on sale, but get it at like 10 or $5. At $10, it's not the worst.
Max I would pay for
yeah.
that thing is 3.
I mean, a definitive edition, not the original.
Okay, max I would pay for the definitive edition's 5.
Yeah,
I'd be careful too with, I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's a Capcom game that's not great, and it's from like a decade ago. Maybe you can just get it in a different way where they won't add weird de novo shit like 10 years down the line. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Not that I would ever condone such a thing.
And hey, if you get the trilogy, play Devil May Cry 2. You don't have to finish it, just play it. You have to see how bad it is. It has to be seen to believed.
It's at least just it's kind of boring. I mean, it's like easy.
Yeah.
I would describe it as like
thing.
I would describe it as
just keep holding square.
I would describe it as wasted potential. It's an interesting.
Yeah.
DMC2 feels like a game that I would overcomplicate for myself, where I would play it and I would try to play it like stylishly, and then I'd realize like, oh, this is actually just shit. You just hold this button and you win. I was trying to play it like doing moves and like a DMC game. Never mind. I feel like that's what would happen if I tried to play too much of that. But yeah, that's that one. And speaking of which, play Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Another really cool PS2 third-person shooter game where you have terrible controls and the story is extremely edgy. They were basically it's like they wanted to rip off Devil May Cry and specifically DMC2 because Vincent Valentine is more or less, he even looks like Dante from DMC2. He's like the same, like red and belts and shit. It's the only difference is his hair is black instead of red or instead of white. And it's a very similar. People don't like it. And the story's bad, and everything about it is bad. So play it. It's great. I love it.
Also, I plan on by the next time we do an episode to have finished the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because I was kind of stuck on Chapter 4 for like 2 weeks there. But with that,
there's a lot to talk about it.
But with that, I'm gonna wrap this up. This has been episode 40. Holy shit!
Hell yeah!
10
more, and we're at a pretty big milestone.
Yeah,
it's an arbitrarily important number, but for some, I want to be
like the hyperfixations is higher than 40, but it's 40.
It's true.
For our 40th mainline episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Yeah, not counting all the go-kart and tennis game spin-offs.
Oh yeah. And like the side ones like Princess Claus Showtime.
I didn't mean to click that.
Ow.
I meant to click out of the soundboard.
That's a good one though for that time, yeah. Thank you everybody for listening. This has been episode 40, and show up next time when we do episode 41, and we're one step closer to the true secrets of the universe, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be exciting.
That's going to be episode
49.
702.
Yeah. Yes. It's the funny nerd number. It's one 42. Of those numbers that's like become a meme, so you can't even use the number without making the obligatory. Yeah, I know. 69. Nice. 420. That happens to be what the number is, indeed.
Funny enough, we're moving to the new channel on episode 42.
Yeah.
I didn't even plan it for that. I just wanted to make sure that like just I make sure everything looks good and doesn't look.
Listen, go. Are you gonna be uploading this one on the other channel too?
I'm gonna upload. I'm gonna make a trailer, or you know what I'm gonna do? The first thing that's gonna be uploaded is that Cushy Dreams one they had us cut. I'm just gonna do the uncut ad read.
Hell yeah, brother! Nice.
Effectively, like I haven't talked. That guy hasn't responded to me in a little bit, so effectively, I think it's getting a little too deep in the weeds here, but I think that one's done. If the code
that's-
still works, use it.
Yay!
If the code still works, use it. But yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, that'll go up there because that was such a good time.
Well, I was thinking because you know, Dan Schneider in the thumbnail. I think this one might be a little bit, might have some people come in off of just the the thumbnail alone.
You're right. Tell you what, folks. Depending on where you see this, you'll know it might just go up on both.
Hell yeah.
Well, I hope everyone enjoys when they hear it, and check out the next one. Hit up the Patreon. Thanks to the people joining that. Thanks to
Patreon.com/loud=funny.
Yeah, people buying merch and stuff. There are people wearing our merch right now. I know, it's crazy.
It's very scary.
We're finally going to be getting our own sample soon, which...
we don't even have our merch. I could dream about wearing my own fucking merch at this point in time. It's crazy.
Because we're going to see how that comes, and then we're going to see if we need to tweak anything past that. And here's one thing I will say. If we do switch providers, if you already bought merch from us, email us and I will get you new merch.
Nice.
Yes.
So
I feel like I should do that if we switch providers.
If y'all want to support us, patreon.com/loud=funny. Check out the merch store. Just go to loud=funny.com and there's a little tab for it. You can send mail directly to my mailbox. You can hand it to me at the grocery store.
Yes.
Just hand me a $100 bill. I'll know.
We should be getting a better feedback email, but right now it's just everything is hosts@loud=funny.com. It goes straight to my phone. So yes, I will see it. Please send me no dicks.
Yeah, that's we have important emails coming in there. Please don't send dicks.
Yes, please.
I mean, I guess if you have a really good offer and also want to send your dick, that's weird, but it depends on if the offer's pretty good. I think Bane would be pretty down.
I mean, $1,000.
Bane would do it for
$1,000 for each of us. Fuck that.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. Tristan and I would be much harder to convince. Bane would take a fucking free beverage. Bane's not hard to convince. Send him a dick pic and just go, "Hey, I'll buy you some Tim Hortons when you're in Canada," and he'll love it.
He'll be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take you up on that."
It's like, all right, sure, I'll go for Timmy's. All right. I know the lingo.
He does. You don't know the ones you gotta stay out of, though. There's some Tim Hortons where you go in there and they'll kill you.
Oh, yeah, where it's like, they see you're American and they're like, all right, behead him.
No, they'll just kill you. I mean, I remember I walked by one. It was 8 at night. The fucking door was wide open. They were open, but there was no one in there and there was no one behind the counter. And I don't know what was going on.
That's a Silent Hill Tim Hortons.
Yeah, you walked into another universe.
Very skibbity Tim Hortons. Yeah,
that's Tim. Fuck, what's his name? The guy we were all standing.
Oh,
Tim. Crane. Jacob Crane.
Yeah, Jacob Crane.
Tim Crane
heads. Yeah.
God, can you imagine you just walked into the Twilight Zone, but it's a different Tim Hortons?
I mean, that's the great Canadian fear.
Tim Hortons, but Glenn Glazar, the fucking gelatinous, is at the counter.
I gotta make a series where it's a guy who goes to every Tim Hortons in the hopes that one of them will have the dimensional void that can reunite him with his mom.
It's just sliders that show sliders.
It is, yeah. Yeah, John Royce Davies can even be there. It'll be great.
Oh my god. I'd be 100% down for that.
On that note, thank you everybody for listening, and see you next time.
Yeah. Peace and penis.
Peace and penis.